Hello everyone and welcome to Trackmania Grand League's last chance qualifier. We are going to be having the final chance, the final opportunity, the last stand for those who are in the bottom 8 to give them a final opportunity to reach the playoff stage. We have 8 players that will be participating in this final matchup here. As we said, the last chance for those who, some only just missing out on the playoffs positions during the regular season, some a little bit further behind in the overall standings. However, everyone here has a last chance, and it is going to be coming up on your screens in just a few short minutes. I've only just finished my dinner by about 1 or 2 minutes, but we're going to have a storm cooked up for you here today. And the last chance, we're going to have 8 players, as we said, all 8 players represented from Trackmania Grand League itself. We will have all of those teams which did finish in the bottom 8, so from position 16 down to 9th, or sorry, up to 9th rather. I'm getting my wheeze mixed round here. However, on our screens, we will have some rather surprising participants of this last chance qualifier. We'll have such players like former Trackmania Grand League champion Kappa, former Trackmania Grand League runner-up Scrappy, also playoff participants in previous seasons of Riolu and Tween, and all the stalwart contenders, of course, Massa and Spam, all participating in the last chance qualifier. Some other players, TMGL also, and Link, will be representing Team Secret and Grizzy Esports respectively. And we will be having one more player joining us as soon as everyone is ready to go, which should be only a few short minutes. However, in the meantime, I'll give you guys a little explainer as to how things are working here and how you can expect this to proceed. Now, this will essentially be the same format as the Trackmania Grand League Finals in and of itself. Just going to turn the volume down a little bit here now, just with a small exception. So, all the players will be it will be in a solo mode. So, of course, not so much points to worry about, not so much losing points to worry about, or anything like that. However, you will have 3 rounds on each map. There will be 5 maps in the final map pack, which we will go through for you relatively soon. However, 5 maps in the final map pack, and this time it won't be a full 6-lapper which we'll be seeing in front of us. It will be 2-lap stints, so each 3 rounds will contain a total of 6 laps. However, 3 rounds over 2 laps, so you will have one coming from a start and one flying lap to move yourself through one entire round. Now, how you get through one of these rounds is you need to win one, of which you will then activate a finalist mode. Now, on the live ranking on the left, you can see the people with the red finalist tag. Now, that means they have won 1 round already. However, if they then manage to win another round, they will have secured their place in the next stage of this last chance qualifier. You can see Spam on the left hand side has already have won in the warm-up. Now, there will be a few ways to do this. There will, of course, be those who manage to get first place in a round, managing to get finalist and managing to win if they do it 2 times in a row. However, you will also be able to secure a round win if you maintain a gap of, I believe it's 1.5 seconds over 3 checkpoints. So a bit messy, a bit hard to explain, but it will be coming up on your screens within a few minutes, so not to worry if it is frying your brain. Certainly know it has fried mine, but just in the meantime, actually, I can show you folks the map. So we'll have Arctic Split. We will also have Reversing. We will have Slalom, Frozen Fridges, and last but not least, Bicycle. So all lovely ice map, well, all lovely winter maps here, shall we say. Let's just double check if we can get back into the server. Apologies, just some small technical difficulties it seems here. And let's have a quick look. So, also a part of this is how the maps actually get picked. Now, with the maps getting picked, the order of how it goes is the 4th from the season will pick map 1, third will pick map 2, second will pick map 3, and first will pick map 4. Of course, you switch the 4th and the 1st to 9th down to 12th. Of course, the players at the top seeding from the lower bracket almost of Trackmania Grand League. Let's see, we are now getting into the server. So, all 5 maps will be played, however it is a question to see how many will actually be able to... how many we will actually see getting played, if we're going to see them getting played more than once, of course. Have had the chance to catch up a little bit with evoN, has of course put a good bit of preparation into this, not only for a chance to get into the playoff stages in the very last opportunity of all, but also very important as this is the very same map pack which you will be contesting against the man on your screen, Scrappy, for survival in Trackmania Grand League. So an interesting little tester to look at the players who are fighting for the bottom 4 spots to see if we can see anything that would indicate how we are going to have them lining up in front of our screens. Now, one final twist of the tale which we will be having on this is that there will be a staggered entry to this. Now, for the very first round, which is coming up in a few seconds, there will only be 2 players driving. Now, the only 2 players driving were those that finished 9th and 10th. The next round, those that finished 11th and 12th will be allowed in. And the next round, those that finished... where is everyone? Those that finished... the next 2 positions, and so on and so forth. So at the moment we do actually have a few people driving, so I might be absolutely wrong. Oh no, sorry, it's a pre-match warm-up, I do apologise. So we'll be having Bicycle on our screens first of all, so we'll give you a quick preview of Bicycle for any who have forgotten. And there you have it, that is Bicycle. Now, as you can see, some players can win by knockout, as it's said, but not to worry if this is at all losing you in any shape or form. It will show up on the top. It will indicate if a player is just about to get knocked out or anything like that. As you can see, the players warming up. Still the pre-match warm-up phase, as it says in the top. Now, you will also see the player in red will indicate that that player is in finalist, so has only one more round which they need to secure to progress to the next phase. So only 2 wins potentially for a player to get through to the next round. Will be another restart according to the admins, just to fix a specific setting. So just dialing things in before we go into the meat and potatoes of this. So, just to give you a quick answer there, player. So, this is a different part of this. So, this is the last chance qualifier. So, this is essentially the same format as the grand final. However, only one person, instead of one person winning the playoffs and winning everything, it's going to be one person manages to secure their spot for the playoffs itself. So I believe there will be a restart and then we will be underway. Oh, yep, there we go. So we'll be good to go. We believe it will be 1 round of a warm-up and then we will be started off with this last chance qualifier. Volume up for you folks a little bit. Absolutely. So we will start off with 8 players and then 2 players will be eliminated from that phase, those who do not manage to secure their winner status. And then going forward into the next phase, it will go down by 2 once again, go down by 2, and so on and so forth. So there we go. Just last pre-match warm-up. Now, just a reminder for any who are not familiar with it, it will be that the top 2, so 9th to 10th, will be starting the first round by themselves, and then positions 11th to 12th will join in round 2, positions 13th to 14th, and so on and so forth. So as they said, there will be just a quick restart, and then we will be getting the match on our screens. So thank you all for joining. I hope you're all doing well. For those who checked out actually the Trackmania Grand League, Open Grand League Finals, or the Super Finals I believe it was called, with 4 players who are now confirmed to be as part of the Combine, which will actually be coming up next week. If I am correct, it is Granadi, Soldier, Worker and Binks who will be fighting for spots in Trackmania Grand League. So either one of those 4 drivers will be your representative of Trackmania Grand League next season. So definitely very interesting to see. However, looks like all our technical issues are out the way, and we should be getting underway here within a minute or 2. But this is indeed one shot and one opportunity left for the likes of evoN, of course, Team Secret's driver. Home favourite of this chat, I would say, of course. And with that, hoping he'll take advantage of his final opportunity to be part of the Trackmania Grand League playoffs. However, following off from that, you will also have the Combine, which he'll have to worry about, which I was speaking about before. So no doubt he'll be sizing up Scrappy, who will be his opponent in the Trackmania Grand League Combine playoffs. There will be a 1 versus 1 versus Scrappy, which will happen next week at 9 PM, I believe it is, on Sunday. So stay tuned for that. That will be live on this channel, not to worry. To decide the fate of whether Team Secret will be represented by evoN going forward for another season. Will he be sending Scrappy home? Who knows? Bicycle, however, is going to be the first map of our last chance qualifier here. It was picked by Spam. Double check, yep. So Bicycle is picked by Spam, Slalom picked by Massa, Reversing picked by Kappa, and Arctic picked by Tween. We're thinking likes of Spam getting 12th position in a Trackmania Grand League regular season, but such as the times we live in, such as the level of competition in this tournament nowadays. We will be underway momentarily. Here we go. So the countdown has finished. Are we going to have another warm-up? We'll see. However, all 8 players are here. Tween, Reelu, Kappa, Spam, Link, Scrappy, Massa and evoN. Now only 2 players will be going here, and it is Massa and Spam. Now neither of them can win from here. However, it's another pre-match warm-up. Nice. Anyway, so Massa and Spam will be the ones to start it off. However, they will of course only be able to get 1 round win, so they will only be able to get to finalist. They will not be able to win outright. So, of course, in the event of a player making a big mistake, the knockout is to ensure that you're not just having a snore fest watching a player drive round a few checkpoints by themselves. But now here we go. Hopefully our pre-match warm-up is finished. It appears to be we are underway as expected though. We now have Reelu, Tween, Kappa and Scrappy's just driving around here. I'm not entirely sure what's happening. However, let's have a look-see here. So you can see the red of Spam does show that he would be the finalist in this instance. Yep, so we can see here, not exactly live. A lot of warming up here. We love a good warm-up, don't we? But the players taking this time to have a quality warm up, I suppose, especially for those who are coming in at a later stage, the likes of Link and Evon, will need to hit the ground running immediately. So definitely very important there. Important to keep your focus while you are seeing the level of pace that the other players are managing to do. Will we be live? Question mark? Oh, are we getting good to go here? It is Massa and it is Spam starting us off on Bicycle here. Alliances, Spam and Berlin International Gaming's Massa, two tenured organisations and especially two veterans of the Trackmania scene, albeit coming from the tech discipline of the game, showing off their drifts, tricks and skills here as we move into the first round of the Trackmania Grand League Last Chance Qualifier. Now, for any of those who do not entirely understand what is happening, there is a delayed entrance. So as Spam and Massa got 9th and 10th in the regular season, they start off the first round by themselves. They get a free opportunity at the first finalist attempt. However, they will fight each other tooth and nail for it. There will be 2 laps of Bicycle to decide who will be your first finalist of the Last Chance Qualifier. So toe to toe they go, Massa and Spam. Little correction drift there by Massa as initiated a little bit too early, but going into the identity for the first time of Bicycle. And ice hairpins here, Massa giving himself a very shallow line going through there, but you do what is certainly most comfortable for you. Got a little bit too much wheels on the back, snow there. Spam has a 300s lead going in to the second lap there, but is overtaken by Massa, who takes a big risk coming through the start finish checkpoint. Lap number 2 here, and Spam is on the back foot. We know Massa can certainly start off well, but can he keep the momentum going here? Spam is reeling him in within 1/10 of a second here in round number 1, but Massa gets a better exit there. Oh, a little bit shaky over that jump from Massa and going into the dirt right-hander. They are side by side, they're inside one another. However, Massa gets a slight disadvantage going through there, but Spam's going to have to adjust. Massa jumping a little bit too far to the left. Spam will land just a tiny bit earlier, and you see just a tiny gain of speed, and it will put Spam on the front foot here. However, still has a little distance to catch up, and Massa is in the lead going into the second identity here, but who's going to take it? We've seen a little tactic coming in here in the final identity. Will any take a little advantage of it? You see they cut off the identity a little bit earlier, does Massa, but Spam nearly gets him at the end. Massa will take it by 0.08 of a second with a 1:08.008, and that was a lovely race and a lovely matchup to start us off, and Massa is your first finalist. So if Massa wins one more round, he is straight through, but now he not only has Spam to compete a bit against, he also has Kappa and Tween. No strangers to being coming from a disadvantaged position are Tween and Kappa. Kappa qualified for the playoffs, which he did win in the very last seed at the very last moment. He qualified for the Trackmania World Championships, which he won at the very last opportunity as well with the final qualifier. So Kappa maybe fated almost to succeed through here, but these players all know each other inside and out, have competed against each other for nearly a decade now. Of course, Tween part of the World Championship final, which Spam actually won all the way back in 2012, if my memory does serve me correctly. However, Tween will not be part of this battle here. Massa in the lead. Kappa drops back as well. Now it's going to be another 1v1 between Spam and Massa. Kappa is in the back line, so he will be a factor if any of these players make mistakes, but we saw they were rock solid on round number 1, and Spam once again finishes lap 1 in the lead and takes a lot more commitment going through here. You saw he didn't leave himself a lot of margin for error, but Spam, always known as more of a consistent player, is showing that he has the pace to match up now. Oh, a little bit hesitant going through there with Spam. Very close to the inside here. Massa has just about 0.3 of a second here that he needs to catch up. However, one of the players who can really turn up to 11 when he needs to. But Spam here currently with a little bit of a safe lead here, about as safe as you can get in Trackmania Grand League. That is 0.5 of a second there. Massa jumping straight into the final, the jump checkpoint there. He does go into this stage half a second behind now. He does have that little technique and identity, which Spam doesn't do. However, I believe Spam will have enough of a lead here to be able to take it home. He takes all the speed from the boosters, and Spam will be your second finalist. However, now we will have 6 players. Scrappy and Riolu have entered the chat, ladies and gentlemen. Scrappy representing Team Lazarus, and Riolu representing Nordavind DNB. Kappa starts off a little bit poorly here, but we now do have 2 finalists with Massa and Spam. Hear the referee in the background blowing his whistle. It's a penalty for someone, but those in prime position to score are Massa and Spam, as said. However, very close in the chasing pack here. Interesting to see that Massa and Spam definitely have the advantage early in these rounds. Maybe indicative of the seeding they managed to get. Definitely showing their strength here. Oh, that's going to be a tree bump there for Scrappy. We've seen that more than once. You can see he retires immediately. He knows this kind of format. You need first or that's it. Second places get you absolutely nothing. Let's see you go into the identity for the first time. Now it's Tween on the hunt. Tween wants to get finalist here. Kappa, Riolu as well. They're not ready to give this up to Spam and Massa. Not ready to give them an easy ride through into the next stage. But both of them are remaining flawless here at this time. 0.3 of a second ahead of both Kappa and Tween, the former Isuba teammates, former Sampi teammates. However, not able to stand up to the former expert duo. And they are going blow for blow here, but Massa looks like he's got a black eye through that section. Little bit of a gut shot there by Spam as he gets a really nice entry onto that dirt section, opens up his line of approach. And they both have a very strong lead here over Kappa, and it's going to take a miracle for either of Kappa or Riolu to catch up, as Tween and Scrappy have already retired. Spam and Massa though, Spam does once again have a little bit of an advantage going into this part of Bicycle, but he gets a poor exit, and now Massa will be close enough where maybe his little end trick will be able to get him the difference. He's going to come into the final hairpin of the identity. Massa didn't manage to get it properly, and Spam shoots past, and Spam is going to lock in a place in the final 6, and that was flawless there by Spam. Only missing out on one round by a few hundredths of a second. However, as the first member of your top 6. A reminder, 2 players will be eliminated. It will be the final 2 which do not manage to secure finalist and then win the next round. But we move on to our next map, which I believe will be Slalom. So let's have a wee looky-see at how Slalom looks for any who need a refresher. And there you have it, that is Slalom. So a very interesting map here, and one we've seen good performances by pretty much all of the players involved in this last chance qualifier. However, we've seen a lot of mistakes on this one. I don't imagine it will be clean sailing for a lot of people like it was on the previous map. This map though I believe was picked by Massa. So perhaps the German feeling confident on this track. He's got his skis on, he's ready to go. However, I believe this might be a live round, so we'll remember that in future. Massa is currently in the lead here. Everyone is part of this round. Link and evoN, as a result of it being round 4, do get the chance to start driving. Yes, we will make sure to catch the start of each map now going forward. Apologies. However, going through the next slalom here, we're on lap number 2 already, and you can see why Massa's picked this map. Already far ahead here, closest being Realo and evoN, however only about 0.4 of a second behind. Now we know this identity is difficult, so we'll see if Massa manages to keep it on, but he doesn't. He actually makes a mistake, and that's now going to give Realo and evoN a chance. Only 1600s between the lot of them, but now the risk comes through. evoN actually gets down quicker, but it's going to be a race to the line. Who's going to be able to take it? Everyone else has made a mistake, and evoN is going to be your third finalist. So very good performance there by evoN to make advantage of the mistakes made there at the ending, with Massa and Realo both falling at the end, and evoN with his first round already finalist. So the first of those who were not part of the initial 2 of Spam and Massa is one of those who only gets a chance in this round. So what does that indicate going forward? Slalom, of course. So a very good round from Realo, a very good round from Massa. Can they keep up that kind of pace? Kappa's not looked very convincing throughout this. He did get in round number 2, however, has not yet been competitive, so we're going to need to see what he's got in store. Link and evoN here, second and third, but there is a big pack behind, and now Scrappy makes a mistake, so everyone's going to be within 1/10 of a second in this first lap here. Oh, Kappa makes a big mistake though. He's going to be out of it, and he is not going to have a chance. Pardon me. Voice is trying to leave the building. However, in this first identity here, let's see who gets the better of it. Oh, evoN goes a little bit too far, and that's going to be evoN's attempt ruined. Link made some mistakes there, and Realo now has a big gap up top. The 2 Germans now fighting tooth and nail. Oh, Realo not looking so comfortable through the regular stage of the track. We'll give Massa a little chance to catch up here. Realo will want himself to be a finalist as well. Massa though looking good on the hunt. He's closing Realo down. Everyone else is too far behind here. Tween 0.6 of a second behind this group. Massa, you can see how close he's going to each wall. He is not leaving anything left on the table, but Realo manages to maintain a gap going over this long straight. Opens up his line going through here. He doesn't want to make the same mistake Massa did. Cuts some speed now going into the second identity. Let's see who's got it. Massa risking there. He does clip the checkpoint though, and this is going to be going home with Realo. Now he secures his finalist with a lovely time there coming out from Realo. So now we have 3 finalists here. Scrappy, Tween, Link and Kappa still on the bottom. Final round here on Slalom though. And let's see if we will see a second winner. Will we see a second participant in the top 6? I wonder. There's 3 people who are going to say no, 4 people who are going to say yes. At the moment it is no from Scrappy. Fastest lap so far being clocked in by Realo with his winning effort there in the previous round. So good job there by the German. Scrappy, however, does not want to be left out of this group. Very close going through there. Looks like Massa got a tiny bit better. You can see him hanging on to the tail of Scrappy's car almost, but maybe a little bit shirt pulling there as he pulls him back and shoots forward into first place. Let's take a little bit of a different approach going through there, does Massa. Realo also in this fight, going into the identity again. Oh, evoN and Realo got that beautiful, and now they move into first place. The 2 finalists here, Kappa being the closest, about half a second behind, so it looks as if it's going to be between Realo and evoN. Nordovan versus Secret. That's a beautiful entry by both players though. And we're going to see if both players can, however, hold their nerve. We have 1 lap remaining. Riolu did manage the fastest lap in his previous round. Will he be able to match that kind of pace? Just catches up a slight bit there to evoN going through that jump. One of these players looking to confirm their spot in the final 6 though. However, they need to be careful they don't end up both making mistakes there. Riolu with a lovely entry going through there, but looks as if evoN's got more speed. 1/10 between them now going into the last identity here. Will be the last identity of the final 8 for one of these players, but who's going to manage to take it? evoN and Riolu. evoN goes a little bit too high and Riolu secures it. Riolu's going to manage to get into the final 6. He outlasts evoN going through that section, and a wonderful job there by Riolu with an even faster lap coming out there. So both players were on incredible pace. We now, however, move on to map number 3 here. We have 2 winners, we have 2 finalists, and we have 4 players with positions yet unknown. However, map number 3 we will be reversing, picked by Kappa. Will be only short warm-up for the players though. So we will keep our eyes and ears open to see how round number 1 of reversing will proceed. Oh, no warm-up at all. We are getting straight underway here. So far, Scrappy, Link, Tween and Kappa so far without managing any round win whatsoever. Massa with 1, and it was very early. evoN with 1. Only just denied in the last map. However, this is a completely different kind of map as reversing. Let's see what it has in store for us here. Of course, the players have known all of the 5 maps. They have all been driven through the regular course of this season. They are familiar with them. They are very trained on them, that we can assure you. Of course, the players will have their preferences. We'll see how that turns out, though. Scrappy currently in first place. Does not want to have his chances completely written off already, but makes a big mistake there. Massa, Kappa and evoN already up in a little bit of a gap here up at the top. Now an important part of this map is this end section going through here. Kappa, Massa and evoN all within 0.03 of a second. But evoN makes a mistake and he's going to fall behind. Massa also falls down. Tried to bite off more than they could chew, did both of the players there. And now Kappa has a strong lead here. Tween closest, so either one of them favourites to ensure finalist status. But as I was going on to say here, the risk on this is at the very end, you can just shoot forward just instead of turning around on the ice. Some players opt to stay backwards and shoot straight forward into the finish, as it does save time if you are on your final lap. Kappa, first place here, starting off his map pick well. See, he jumps very laterally there, so he can get as much speed on landing, get a little bit of a slide there, but goes a little bit wide. evoN and Tween catching up a little bit going through there. However, they're going to need to pull off a monster of an ending here. You see they stay backwards. Can Kappa manage to stay in? And evoN snipes him at the ending. What a beautiful ending there by the Team Secret driver, and rips the winner there for Kappa. Absolutely tears it from his grasp, and evoN is your 3rd member of the top 6. What an ending there. You can saw Kappa set himself up poorly going into that identity, made the mistake which allowed his opponents to get a little bit closer, and that was a hell of a risk there, but it did pay off there for evoN. Massa falling apart a little bit here. We've seen a lot of mistakes in the last few rounds. Massa, as we've always said, very much a momentum-based player, so he'll need to keep his head on straight here. Scrappy, starting off from where he started on round 1, very strong, but did make a mistake going into the identity. Let's see if any of these players, of course Massa being 20 seconds behind is not going to be the player to win the next round, so either one of these players getting themselves a finalist. So, Kappa making the same mistake again here. Link and Scrappy are your top two at the moment, and with a good lead does Scrappy have. A little bit of a messy exit there, but Link got it even worse there, 0.2 of a second behind. Scrappy though so close to the outside. We're going to keep our eyes on the Belgian player here. A little bit of an adjustment there, doesn't want to fall into the same trap as Massa. Scrappy though looking good here, he is the leader. And everyone quite a far bit behind him, and he does have the pace through the regular part of this track. So let's have a look and see if he's going to manage it through this second identity. It is round number 2 of reversing, so if he performs well here, he will be able to get himself another opportunity in the next one. But oh, a lovely landing there by Link. But Scrappy managed to get it to perfection here. He's going to need to master this downhill section. Massa maybe playing some mind games here, I don't know. Scrappy actually turns around though. Link tries to take advantage but does not manage it. And Scrappy will be a finalist as well. So congratulations there to Scrappy. Needs to win one more round. And then he will be through to the final 6. There is only 3 spots remaining. Kappa, Tween and Link, despite getting in round number 2, have not managed to win one round yet. And apart from the one where evoN sniped him at the very ending, Kappa hasn't managed to be competitive. We know these players are very strong. However, from last season's playoffs, we know that Kappa struggles in this format. One of the players you would associate with having a very, very high pace, but having issues nonetheless. Scrappy and Massa now, both finalists, both looking to get through here to the final 6. Oh, bit of an awkward exit there for both Link and Kappa. Tween also very close to this group, so no one is counted out from the final round of reversing just yet. Well, let's see who's going to get the better out of this identity here. Both players jumping very laterally. Massa goes for a very early landing, but Scrappy seems to have nailed this section to perfection and does take a lead going into the second lap rather. Currently 0.2 of a second. Link's already DNF'd. Scrappy and Kappa on the charge here. Kappa a little bit of airtime, does overtake Massa, and so close to the inside and outside goes the Czech player. Though has what it takes and knows what it takes to perform very well in Trackmania Grand League. Such a surprise to see him in a last chance qualifier for Kappa, but he is getting outplayed here, especially by Scrappy here in this round. 0.4 of a second of a lead for the Belgian. Is this going to be 2 round wins in a row to secure him straight into the final 6 for Scrappy? He'd have the fastest lap from last one round there. Kappa going to try for it here. He is close. Needs a good landing and needs a mistake from Scrappy. Gets good speed coming out of here. A little bit of chop here. 0.4 of a second, is it going to be enough though? Scrappy risking, but Kappa doesn't manage to pull it off. Caught up a significant amount there, but it was not enough. Kappa tried to do to Scrappy what had been done to him, but Scrappy is your 4th participant of the final 6, so that means that some of these players that we are seeing, Link, we're also seeing Tween, Kappa, Massa, will not be participating further. They will be knocked out in the first time of asking, but we now move on to, I believe this is Arctic Split, if my memory does serve me correctly. Yes, Arctic Split. Now this is a map which was picked, let me see, by Tween. So Tween perhaps feeling a little bit more comfortable on this map. Oh, Kappa, already a mistake coming straight off of the start. And Tween, having picked a map, is straight into the lead. See lovely tomato face coming up on the ends of the map, no doubt, in the big billboards. However, Link does not want to look at no tomato. Massa is on the coattails of this group. Only 1/10 behind, loses a little bit of time going through that section. He will get some speed, but as you can see, sacrificed the battle for first place for now. However, we've seen this is one of the maps that can really catch players out when the pressure is at its highest. One little shake when you're pressing either direction can really cost you here, especially going into this identity here. And there you go, Link already down, Tween already down, Massa now in prime opportunity here. Nearly 1 second of a gap. Now, reminder, if any of these players make more mistakes, Massa can win this round straight away just from a knockout. However, that will come up on the top of your screen when that does get activated. Extending the gap now is Massa, 1.2 seconds here. Link's DNF, Kappa's already out of the round. See if Massa keeps everything on the straight and narrow. He should remain composed here, but you can see he's still risking it. Tween, however, is not a man to be left behind in this sort of situation. However, Massa pulls it off much better this time. Will retain the lead of about 1.2 seconds to Tween, but all it takes is one mistake at the ending, and this battle could get opened right back up. Little release there from Massa just to make sure he doesn't take as much of the grass as he should. Or more than the grass than he should, rather. But identity time for the second time in this round. Makes it through the first one, no problem releasing, but makes the makes a little mistake there. He should survive it going through this last one though, and Massa is going to be your 5th member of the final 6. Tween did get the fastest lap there, but that was too little too late, especially for a mistake at the end of the first lap for Tween. And Massa, your first round winner, finally manages to secure it at almost the last time of asking. But we have 3 players left and we only have spots for 1 of them. Tween and Link were looking good here. Let's see if they can keep that up. But starting off, Kappa is in the lead here. Tween, despite it being his map pick, has already started off slowly. And he's looking to catch up here, but he's got a mountain to climb. You see here, Link second, Kappa first. Ooh, Kappa, that was a very risky line. Maybe Tween get a little bit distracted watching Kappa go the other side of the pole there, but Mr. Krompoltz, Kappa does manage to get it without issue. Currently, Kappa still in the lead, but we've seen how this identity can play havoc to people's plans. Link made the mistake through here last time, and he does it again. And now Kappa, actually, I believe he also had a little bit of a slowdown there, but Kappa, now you can see, just needs to cross 3 checkpoints with this kind of gap, and he will be the winner. And there you go, Kappa wins by KO, because everyone else had crashed and been far behind. So Kappa now looking to secure a top 6 spot. Kappa, one more round to kill Tween and Link's chances. That's all the Czech player needs to do. He wants to keep himself within chances of getting into the playoffs here. Because when Kappa's in the playoffs, anything can happen for sure. This is also a format identical to what's going to be in the grand final that's going to be coming up on your screens tomorrow, so definitely valuable practice for these players as well. However, Tween recovered well. Oh, Kappa survived there. That was surprising. I thought he was going to get a little slowdown there, but this lap is definitely close to start off with. Tween and Link not ready to give up yet. Link is also going to be participating in the Combine, which is going to be coming up next week. And doesn't look like he's going to be participating in the playoffs either, if this is going to be the mistakes that he will make. Tween, though, holding solid, going through the first identity. And now we have lap number 2 with Tween in the lead by 0.2 of a second. But Tween so low and he makes the mistake. And now Link needs to salvage it. Final opportunity here for Link. He needs to deny Kappa, but Kappa is one of the hardest players to play against at the best of times. But certainly when the pressure is on, Kappa, one of the coolest heads in the game. But will he manage to keep it against the rookie of Trackmania Grand League here, Link, in his debut season? Did finish at the bottom of the overall standings. However, all would be redeemed if he's able to extend his Trackmania Grand League journey by at least one more round here. Kappa is in the lead and has extended it, but will he manage to maintain that lead going through the second identity part here? Link's risking it and Kappa goes too high. Kappa will have more speed, but this is all or nothing here for Link, and he is going for it. He's ahead going into the final one, and he's going to take it, and Link survives. And Tween will be thanking his lucky stars as Kappa gets sniped at the ending once again, and that was commitment by Link, and that is what we like to see. Beautiful job there by the Frenchman. And we now move on to the final map, which will be Frozen Fridges. Definitely an easier identity, but one which we will see a lot of risk on, make no mistake about that. However, the battle for the final 6 is not yet over. Tween has to win this round. If Tween makes a mistake, then the battle for the final 6 is going to be over, and either Link or Kappa will be declared your final victor. It's not going to be Link though, as Link makes an early mistake now. Old rivals, old teammates, battled against each other and battled with each other on many different tournaments in Trackmania's history, but there is no friendship here when it comes to the final playoff spot. Both players equally capable, you might say, competing at the highest level for a very, very long time. And much the same as Kappa and Spam, no doubt know each other inside and out. Kappa's so close to the outside there though. Going into these identities now is Ice Hairpins here. A little bit of reactor boost to get yourself some upward momentum. Oh, Tween makes the mistake though. Is Kappa going to keep his head on straight this time? He's got a big gap behind him. He just needs to keep it going strong here. First by over a second going through this checkpoint. 1.1 second at the moment. You see his beaming face up there in the top left hand of your screen there for a second. All he needs to do, he no doubt will have seen that he's got a good gap here, is to save the remaining section of this track. Oh, very close to the inside and he crashes. Kappa makes a rookie error there. That was a very avoidable mistake, and now Kappa sacrifices the opportunity. He's had some bad luck with the likes of TMGL and Link sniping it from him, but that was a big mistake, a big misjudgment by Kappa. And now we have the final round of the top 8, and all is up for grabs here. Tween takes it. Link, Tween, Kappa, final opportunity, and here we go. Final round of the top 8, Frozen Fridges. Who's going to take it? Whoever wins this round will be through the top 6. Whoever loses this round will have their journey ended. Both Kappa and Tween will not be part of the combine, so they will have no further duties. Link, however, wants to go out with a bang. He does also have the combine remaining, but is not yet done with Trackmania Grand League, no doubt. Tween out of this battle, and Link, a little bit of an awkward line there. Equals up with Kappa now going through this section and makes a mistake. Now Kappa has a golden opportunity here. He has Tween 1 second behind. Surely Kappa wouldn't make another mistake. Definitely not a man you could rely upon for any mistakes, never mind more than one, but Link is DNF'd, he's accepted his fate here now. His journey towards the playoffs will officially end, but Kappa and Tween have 1 lap left. Kappa might have a little bit more than that in him. Tween's going to at least need to keep him within arm's reach here. hope that Kappa's going to make some sort of mistake like he did last time. The pressure's going to be on the Czech player though. Playing into his head a little bit perhaps. Oh, makes it through this corner. No problem. Just the final section before the identity here. Long right hand slide. He's taking it safer. And TMGL actually falling a little bit out of reach here. He's going to need to close the gap even if he wants to extend this through the identity. He does by just a tiny bit. TMGL needs to go all out and Kappa just needs to take it nice and easy here going through this identity, and he will have his spot in the final 6. Kappa and TMGL both run a marathon to get to this point, but Kappa will be your 6th winner and will be your participant of the final 6 and will progress forward in Trackmania Grand League. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. TMGL and Link will go no further. TMGL is done with Trackmania Grand League for this season, and Link now is left with the Combine. Spam, though, no doubt had his feet up for the last half an hour or so, biding his time. But Kappa has pointed out in the chat there, leaving it to the very end, as only Kappa can. We will have the later stages coming up on your screen right here, so not to worry, stick around and stay tuned. We'll be getting ready to go in a few minutes, no doubt. With the final 6, it will be pretty much an identical format for the final 6. However, of course, the final 2 once again will be eliminated, and it will be only the top 4 remaining. Then things do change up a little bit. There will be no delayed entry, however there will be map picks based upon where they qualified. So the top 4 will get a choice, and I'll notify you guys of that choice as soon as we get it. But in the meantime, once again, we have Kappa, we have Massa, we have... Who is that again? I've completely lost it. Anyway, we've got evoN, we've got Riolu, we've got Spam, and Scrappy being the final winner there. So, the order will be Spam will get first pick, I think, Riolu second pick, evoN third pick, and Scrappy fourth pick. Massa and Kappa will not get an option as to what map they want to see in what order. However, they will all start at the same time. But we will await the next round starting. And Scrappy's name is indeed a game key. There will be no clash time or anything like that this time. I think they turned it off to nerf Team Secret, to be honest, since we are the official double champions of clash time. So no need to worry about getting your hands ready. As again, we will proceed forward. Spam, Riolu, evoN, Scrappy, Massa, and Kappa will go forward into the final 6. Let me just have a quick look. Okay, so first pick from Spam is once again Bicycle. Second is Slalom by Riolu. Third is Reversing by evoN. And actually there was no pick for 4th place, pardon me. Frozen Fridges will be map number 4, and then Arctic will be map number 5. So yes, the picks have just came in. Not at all surprising to see that each of the 3 players have picked the maps they essentially qualified on. And there we go. So we'll just await a server restart here. I believe will be coming up soon. And then we will be underway for the final 6. Phase number 2 of the Last Chance Qualifier. Of course, all the maps you have seen are what contains are all part of the final map pack. Unfortunately, there will be no mystery maps. Bookcase coming in as suggested there and ruining everyone's day. Slow-mo forest or something like that. It will only be 5 maps instead of the traditional 6 map pack. Let's try and rejoin the server in case that's some sort of issue. I can only imagine how difficult it would be if the players had to train like all the maps that had been part of this phase. However, in the meantime, we'll go to a short break while we're awaiting everything to get restarted up. So, time to refill your drinks, time to calm down, get ready to sit. I will be back with you folks within a few minutes. Do bear with me though. Okay, Detective Inspector Scotsman has a little bit of an update that there will be a short delay to Trackmania Grand League being reopened. Oh, sorry, the next phase of Trackmania Grand League being opened. It seems they've messed something up a little bit, but we will get ourselves part of this in just a minute or two, don't worry. However, I will be back to you with an update within a few minutes. Just need to get everything actually working as to what they've suggested as a workaround. But be with you in a few minutes, not to worry. You know that sound? That sounds means we are back in action. Maybe. Oh great, it's messed itself up. Okay. Let me fix this. There we go. We're all good to go. So, all the players are on servers, and I believe we will just be waiting for the casters to be back on. And then we will be getting good to go for the final 6. So hold your horses, get your drinks, get your food, all that mess. We will be underway within a few minutes. So, once again, for those who are not aware, we will have 6 members of this fight for the next stage. We'll have Spam, who qualified immediately pretty much. We'll have Riolu, evoN, Scrappy, Massa and Kappa. However, everyone is currently driving at the moment, but we will be getting live relatively soon. Just try and get an ETA for you folks, but we will have all 6 members here driving under the exact same format, just with less drivers. And we will be underway hopefully within a few minutes. And we will be starting off on Bicycle. We will be secondly going on to Slalom. Thirdly going on to Reversing. Fourth, Frozen Fridgies. And last but certainly not least, Winter Split, I believe it's... sorry, Arctic Split. And there we have it. So, only this was live. evoN's currently in the lead. Ooh, very nice there. So we'll watch the players. I believe they are just warming up at the moment, or everything started without us. However, at least get an idea of how the players are prepared. evoN didn't actually get to play Bicycle before. Nor did Link, but Link is no longer part of this lineup. I don't think Scrappy or Riolu did either, actually. First round just Spam and Massa. Oh yeah, they would have. Yeah, it was just Link and evoN that didn't manage to be part of it. Anyway, should be getting live relatively soon. Just waiting for all the streamers to get in. Using our funky workaround. Massa airstriking that tree there. Yeah, Spam definitely very strong on this map, so very interesting to see if he manages to keep up the kind of pace, manages to keep up the level of consistency that he was managing before, as it does definitely get more difficult. A short warm-up though, and looks like we will be getting underway. And the warm-up and match is officially starting. Here we go, round number 1 of Bicycle here, and we'll check out the man who did manage to secure his position in this stage on this map and this map alone. Spam. Already, big mistake early from everyone, pretty much. Everyone is down. What's going on? I don't understand. People are retiring. Maybe it's not actually live and I've been scammed. Have we been scammed? I went by kill. I hope it's not live. Yeah, we're doing a great live round lasting about 10 seconds. But here we go. Let's hope this is finally live. At the moment, we have everyone DNF, so we're going to have a delayed entrance once again, perhaps. Riolu and Spam now being the only ones participating in this round. But nevertheless, here we go. We will have at least Spam going up against Riolu for the first time, perhaps, and the second time, I believe, on this map. And let's see what they can manage in this little fight against each other. So very close so far here. So we will have delayed entry, as we can see. Riolu, however, the one in the lead. See, Spam's always pulled off this identity very good though. However, did not take the same kind of technique which Massa did at the ending, so that might be telling coming into the final section of this. And Spam, ooh, a bit shaky there, but does take more speed going through the start of lap number 2 here. Riolu now the one in the back foot, but you can see through the regular lap last time he was eking a little bit ahead of Spam, so definitely very well prepared on this map as Riolu. Not really had much of a chance to pick his favourite map so far. Really overall been a bit of a disappointment in the last season or two, since managing a second place in his debut season, I believe it was, in the overall group stage, or the overall league stage rather. However, is currently still in second place. Has a little bit of a gap here. He's going to need to go all out through this final section though, because you're not going to get much opportunity to catch up over this identity, especially with a player like Spam who's pulling it off to perfection time and time again. Riolu, but half a second back is not going to be good enough though, and Spam is going to be getting your first finalist attempt as rinse and repeat here from the final 8. Spam looking to pick up from exactly where he left off, and we're going to go into round number 2 with one finalist, and it's going to be Spam. Here we go though, round number 2, and we're going to have 4 drivers now. We're going to have Scrappy and evoN joining the party. We're going to have Kappa and Massa still waiting in the wings. We have Spam, who will be looking to win 2 rounds in a row and get himself straight through to the final 4. Proceeding is still important in this, so you want to be getting through as quickly as possible. A little bit of 2 groups out here. Get Scrappy and Spam up at the top, evoN and Riolu down at the bottom. Spam makes the mistake though, drops a little bit further back. He's going to fall behind the entire pack. Losing some speed means that he wasn't at the kind of optimum pace to be making it through these sections as smoothly as he would have liked, I'm sure. And now Scrappy is the one with the upper hand. Oh, evoN just avoids the tree there. Scrappy just avoids a checkpoint. Everyone brushing very close to death here in this round number 2 of Bicycle. Let's see who's going to come out of the identity in the lead, however. Oh, Scrappy, a lot of lateral movement there. However, he will maintain a lot of speed going through. They will actually overtake Riolu. Spam at the back so far. Very close in the top 3 here. Oh, and evoN makes the mistake. You just saw he hesitated a little bit on the snap to the right. And as such, he will fall behind. It's going to be realistically between Riolu and Scrappy here. Spam a little bit further behind, but not many mistakes you see on this track. So expect the players to be able to hold their positions here, but Riolu wants to get himself close enough to where he can risk and make the difference. He's half a second behind, he isn't going to be able to do anything. However, Spam's taking up that fight as well. He's not yet done. Scrappy makes it through without having to worry about any trees. He's not a lumberjack today, is Lazarus Scrappy. Spam actually going to overtake, so if Riolu makes a if Scrappy makes a mistake, then it's going to be the final 4 for Spam. Different approaches there coming out from both players, but anyone going to go for anything special here? Not quite. Scrappy didn't take as much beans as he would have wanted, but he will get dessert with a first place and a finalist of his own, and now we have all 6 members on track. Will Scrappy or Spam be able to secure it in map number 1 here? Now also have Kappa and Massa to contend with. Massa also performing very well on this track. Can he regain some of his final 8 form perhaps? Let's have a looky-see. At the moment though, Spam makes the first big mistake so far, finds himself about a second behind. So if Massa now taking up the baton from Scrappy, more like ripping it from his grasp. Kappa also taking a little bit of a dive in there, will gain time and lose it. A little bit of a yo-yo there from Kappa. Ooh, really so close to the inside there. Scrappy and Massa trying to build a little bit of a gap here. evoN trying to bridge that gap between the top group and the bottom. However, Massa got a little bit of airtime there, but had the reactor boost forcing his car down, so he wouldn't have lost that much time. Spam, you can see in the back of your screen, just over a second behind. Relo's point of view here, you can see he's just a little bit more speed than Kappa. Oh, evoN once again makes a mistake through the switch. And Massa actually catching up a bit on Scrappy here. He was extremely close to either side of the wall, but will manage to survive. German wanting to reel Scrappy in here, wanting to get himself off to the best possible start in this final 6. Especially after having his momentum truly ruined at the end of the final 8. Oh, mistakes through there from Massa, a little bit of airtime. Didn't get his line perfect. He is going to be close enough to Scrappy to make a difference here, though he lands later. Scrappy's going to have more speed on this downhill. He'll be drifting straight away though, so not that much of an advantage, but let's see. 0.2 of a second going into the identity. Massa with more speed though, it's going to be neck and neck. 0.08 of a second here. Massa going for more speed once again. And through the final hairpin, who's going to have it? Massa trying to cut him off a little bit earlier. Still gets a lot of booster, but makes a mistake. Too close to the outside, and he is going to have Scrappy ripping the win away from him. And Scrappy will be your first member of the final 4, winning 2 rounds in a row there on Bicycle. And a great job there by Scrappy. Truly dominated the rounds in which he was playing there. Was up in the lead for quite a significant portion of them. And now we move on to the next map. Map number 2, which, let's have a look-see, is going to be Slalom by Relo. So Relo also performed very well here. I believe won both of his rounds here, with the only other round win there going to evoN. So interesting to see if that will stay the same, or if some other players are going to get their nose in too. Whistle's going, penalty again. But we will have a quick 15-second warm-up and then we will get underway here. Well, mid-air refreshments there for me. So Slalom, we've seen it before. This is one that's very much decided by the identity here. You can have strong round pace, but if you can't handle the identity, then you're going to be out of luck. Check out evoN here through this start here. Starting off side by side with Relo. Both of these players had quite an intense battle going through this this map. Definitely very well versed in it. Spam hasn't played the map in the playoffs yet, if I'm correct, so interesting to see Spam's performance on the other maps, considering he's pretty much only played Bicycle. However, always a strong regular season performer, normally at the very least, is Spam. Oh, Massa ascending through the pack there. Overtook evoN at the very least. Relo still has a good gap, but evoN loses some speed coming through here, and we will go into the identity for the first time. Massa picked this map last time around. Let's see if he's got anything in store for us. Both Massa and evoN bogged down. Kappa overtakes them both, but still finds himself a bit behind. Relo and Spam are going to be up at the top. Only a small gap between them. However, no one is far enough behind where they can get counted out here. We've seen mistakes being made. Let's see if they can keep up an electric pace going through the regular lap. Can Relo or Spam? Nice and smooth going through this section. Spam will get better exit speed going into this jump though. A lot of turns following. And Relo still in the lead here. Looking good and extending, going over this second slalom, I believe it is. There's so many slaloms in this track. Relo and Spam Only really Kappa and evoN can catch up here. Is Riolu going to survive that? He goes super inside and gets the downhill extremely quickly, so he's going to take it straight from Spam there. And that was very nicely executed there by Riolu. Went for all of the risk and it paid off. Riolu is also a finalist. Super, super tight there by Riolu. And he manages to pay it off. We have 3 players so far without a round win to their name. We only have 3 more spots left. As a reminder, we are fighting for the final 4 here. At the moment, very close battle up here at the top. Less than 1/10 of a second between all 5 drivers here at the moment. So close together. Just goes to show how evenly matched all of these players are. See a big difference in approach going through here though. And Spam makes the first mistake. He's going to fall. And that's Riolu and evoN going side to side. And they're going to fall as well. Spam almost flew off the little bit in the middle there. But Massa and Kappa now, the ones who are looking to take advantage of these mistakes. Can they do it perfectly though? They both bog down a little bit. Kappa gets his wheels going quicker. Riolu is on the hunt here, but he drops a lot of speed going through there. So Kappa is going to be on the front foot. Spent so long without getting a finalist last time, so if Kappa can manage to get one immediately, that's going to be a big boost for the Czech player from McLaren Shadow. evoN's already DNF, Spam's too far behind. Kappa smooth as you like going through this section. Very inside drift there though. Wants his wheels on ground as quickly as possible. He wants some more of that Trackmania Grand League clay. Will Kappa make it through these sections? No problem. Looking good. A little bit of a release there just to optimise his line perfectly. Massa though, he's close enough to make a difference here if Kappa messes this up. Should know he can safe it though, and he should manage that no problem. Gets the downhill without issue, and Kappa is also a finalist. Didn't manage to take the fastest lap there from Riolu, but not surprising as Riolu did risk the end quite significantly last time around. But we now have 3 finalists here at the moment. Massa and evoN are going to be close to fighting for their tournament lives here. Massa won't have to worry about the combine, but evoN will. Riolu and Scrappy also participants of the combine. Will be Riolu versus Link and Scrappy versus evoN, I believe. And here we go, Spam being a finalist for a while now. Let's start to play in your head a little bit. Especially he's been making a lot of mistakes in these past few rounds. Rielu's going to fall though. Not fall too far though. Actually he does fall far, never mind. Massa overtaken by Kappa here for first place. Oh, Kappa though just says no you and gives him the spot straight back. Massa and evoN. Oh, Massa, not the best line going through there. evoN's going to take first place going into this identity. Little bit of a better exit there from the young Pole. Loses speed, does Massa. Spam takes a lot of beans going through there, but does manage to hold on. Now it's going to be a fight between evoN and Spam here as Massa has messed it up. 3-4 seconds of a gap back to the closest opponent. So will evoN manage to secure his first finalist, or will Spam manage to secure his spot in the final 4? Spam makes a mistake. Spam makes a mistake, and now going through this high speed section, this is going to be important. As if Spam doesn't manage to catch up, he is going to be giving evoN potentially even a win by KO. evoN has any mode of HUD on though, he will notice he's got a gap, but it will not be more than 1.5 seconds, so he will need to finish this map. He should know he can safe it though, but we have seen evoN having issues with being in front and keeping his head. He still has 8/10 of a gap here. However, if he messes up this identity, it could still go down the toilet. TMGL, he makes a little touch there, but he should still be okay. Spam trying to catch up, but TMGL will lock in a finalist. And there you have it, everyone now finalists apart from Massa. TMGL once again getting a round win here. So clearly the map suits Riolu and TMGL so far. However, we move on to the next map, which will be Reversing, which was actually chosen by TMGL. So did manage to secure his final 6 spot here. Will he manage to secure a final 4 spot here? That definitely is the question. The outlier here, Scrappy, who did perform extremely well on this map, is already through. It is now a question of who is ready to take up the mantle. Who is ready to go all or nothing in Reversing? We'll have it coming up in front of our eyes here. 15 seconds to go. Massa, though, you definitely can't count him out. Even with no round wins, he definitely does have the pace to upset anyone's day at any moment. Spam having some issues closing out, it must be said, but let's see what they manage here and now. So, a lot of different approaches come from the players through that little section there. We will see that through the course of this map. Only 3 spots left here. If Massa doesn't win a round, then this will be the last map he will play in this season of Trackmania Grand League. Everyone else is on finalist. Spam and TMGL overtaking Massa a little bit here. Kappa's made a little bit of a mistake. However, we've seen the difference that a very, very hard risk can take at the end section here on the last lap. So definitely not counting our chickens before they hatch, but that is a mistake from Kappa and from TMGL here on the entry to the identity. And now Riolu also falling a slight bit behind, but where's Spam going? Not the right way. That is certainly the answer to that question. Riolu now up in the lead. TMGL third with 0.7 of a second behind. Spam being so far behind. This is the only 3 that matter at the moment. Massa looking strong going through this map. The Berlin International gamer still first place, but being pursued by his compatriot Riolu at the moment. Oh, Riolu, he's going to fall though. He's going to give Massa an opening. Massa still in first place. He needs to nail this. Oh, he goes very lateral there. That's a mistake from Massa. And now it's going to open it up from a risk for TMGL or Riolu coming through here. Oh, a big opportunity. Who's going to go for it? We know TMGL's going for it. Can he get it? TMGL gets it again. He snipes him for the final 4, and TMGL is once again through on Reversing. Beautiful job there by the young Team Secret driver. Once again, he does it. Spectacular job there, and moves forward to join Scrappy in the fight for the playoffs. Final 4 now. And now Massa feeling the same as Kappa, no doubt. Riolu, finalist, first place at the moment. Kappa, Spam, been finalist for a while now. Kappa had picked this map before, I believe, so these players definitely comfortable on it. Let's see if they can keep it going here. So Riolu made a mistake through this section last time, but keeps it going. See, the pressure definitely mounts going into the second lap. It's where most of the mistakes do come in. Massa going very lateral there. He will kill a little bit of his speed on entry. And now Kappa moving into the lead here at the end of lap 1. Coming through the identity though, manages to get his turnaround perfectly. Kappa snaps back and he will keep the lead going through lap number 1. Spam, light years behind, he's out of this race. Riolu is too far behind really to make a difference. Kappa at the moment first place. Does have a very, very close fight on his hands here though. About a tenth of a second left with Massa closely behind. Very deep jump there by Kappa, but looking good as the McLaren Shadow driver. Massa though is going to go all out, what he's known for. He's known for being a risky driver, but can he bring it to fruition here? He needs to deny someone, but he gets a bad entry coming through here, and that's going to be prime opportunity for Kappa to shoot away with it here. But who's going to take it? Massa messes it up on the landing, and Kappa will hold on to it. He will be your third member of the Final Four. And now we have only Massa, Riolu and Spam left to decide the final spot. Massa needs to win this next round or he is out. Riolu needs to win it or he's out. Spam needs to win it or he's out. This is potentially the final round of the final 6. Will reversing decide the fate of these 3 drivers? Will there be one more round? It will be decided by this man on your screen. Berlin International Gaming's Massa. Oh, Massa makes the mistake. Ladies and gentlemen, your final 4 is going to be decided right here and now. Spam was your very first finalist of this final 6. Is he going to be the last to win a round as well as the first? He has Riolu to go up against, who has looked consistent but looked shaky in the later stages of this. Riolu doesn't look too comfortable, but gets a better exit here. Now on the downhill. The reversing section. We've seen Spam's had so much trouble through this section in the last few rounds. And he makes the mistake again. Spam falling apart. And now Riolu will be able to win via knockout. And Riolu will be through to the final 4. Riolu dumps Spam and Massa, his old teammates, straight out of the competition. See you later, says Riolu. And we have our final 4. We have Scrappy, Evon, Kappa, and Riolu. But definitely a lot wouldn't have predicted Spam and Massa, who were the highest seeds coming from Trackmania Grand League. They did finish 9th and 10th. However, don't even make it to the final 4, joining Tween and Link as being knocked out already. Only one of 3 out of the 4 players who are in the final stage, the final 4, are from the bottom 4 of Trackmania Grand League. What a turn up for the books, ladies and gentlemen. We will, however, get an ETA on when the final 4 will be shortly. Not to worry. But for now, we will catch our breath. We will have a short break, and we will be back with you in a few minutes. we are back on track now. So we have the final four going to be coming up in front of our screens. However, things will change a little bit. In the meantime though, we do have a new set of maps to be coming up. But the final four will change. There is going to be a best of 3 with the final four. And you need to win 2 rounds on a track to win a track, and will be 2 laps as always. You can still win by knockout, but now you need to win a map, essentially. You need to win 2 maps to qualify. I'll be able to keep track of that on the top of your screen. We'll be going live shortly though, but in the meantime, the map order will be Bicycle, picked by Scrappy, Frozen, picked by evoN, Frozen Fridges, pardon me, picked by evoN, Reversing, picked by Kappa, Slalom, picked by Riolu, and the last map being Arctic. We definitely have a treat on our hands. We'll have it coming up on our screen momentarily. But yep, as a reminder, you need to win 2 maps to qualify for the next phase, and to win a map you need to win 2 rounds in it. So we will continue on the same map until someone wins 2 rounds in it, essentially. Keep your eyes open. There will be 2 spots, and that will be all. 2 go through, 2 go out. There is a very real chance that the person who goes through to the playoffs tomorrow will also be part of the combine fighting for the Trackmania Grand League season next week. Only Kappa remains from those who are excluded from the combine. Riolu will face against Link for his survival. Scrappy will face against evoN, ironically, for his survival. And we will be going live just after this next restart. Give me a moment while I get this good. There we go. So, we are just about to go live on Bicycle, and we are going to be starting off round number 1 here. And Kappa is not driving. Or is he? Oh no, sorry, yes. Scrappy and evoN start the first round by themselves as a result of them qualifying number 1 and number 2. So a reminder, you need to win 2 rounds on 1 map to win the map. So these guys in a prime position to be able to do so. Scrappy over with a lead, but messes up a little bit on the entry to that section. evoN keeping within arm's length. And catching up a little bit here. The very big jump though does evoN have, so he will actually not lose some speed going through the downhill. Little drift there to get the perfect entry. That's a lot of speed taken there for evoN, but an awkward line. He does survive though. First identity, first hairpin here for Bicycle. Riolu and Kappa can do naught but watch. evoN gets more speed through here, but he's had trouble going through this section. Can he nail it this time? He does, and Scrappy is the one to make the mistake. So evoN potentially going on for a first round win here. He needs to survive. He's actually going to get it by KO here as long as he doesn't crash. Needs to take it nice and easy through here. Just needs to last another few checkpoints, and evoN will be your first person to win a round. Great start there for Team Secret, and evoN only 1 round away. So of course evoN and Scrappy start that by themselves, as they were the first 2 to confirm their spots in the final 4. So, can evoN do it straight away? First time of asking. Now have Kappa and Riolu to fight against as well. So far off to a little bit of a poor start here. Riolu Seems to want to give him company, but Scrappy off to a stormer once again. Lot of pressure now with all drivers as part of this stage now. Oh, Kappa though makes a mistake. He's not been the same kind of Kappa we're used to. A lot of blunders there by the Czech player. However, we'll still have many more chances to come. Scrappy though. First place and by quite a margin here. Scrappy with a 4/10 lead over Rielu and a 6/10 lead over evoN. Scrappy though needs to avoid mistakes, most importantly. Oh, gets that nicely. Kappa trying to catch up a little bit here. evoN trying to overtake. Scrappy though does get that nicely this time. Is anyone going to catch up? Certainly not Rielu. evoN's the closest and he's half a second behind. A big gap here for Scrappy. He just needs to hold on here without making mistakes. He can reasonably afford to save now. And he'll probably get finalist himself. Strike back straight away from evoN, taking the first place from him last time. Let's see what he can do though going through this final section. The track is not yet done. However, Kappa looks to be the closest. Trying to catch up, trying to put Scrappy under a little bit of pressure here. See the live timings on the left hand side of your screen. Kappa makes a mistake though, so there's only going to be evoN in the fight, but not a lot of fight left in that dog. And it should be Scrappy to take this home without issue here. Should have this identity dialed in and nailed down here. And Scrappy will win the second round. Both Scrappy and evoN will now be finalists, so if either one of them win the next round, they have got the first map win. So the odds were certainly stacked against them if you were just to look at their positions on paper, but definitely performing well are both players. Perhaps this format suits them a little bit more than the regular season. Real, very, very low jump there. Gave me a bit of the fear and I'm just watching. Kappa though says enough is enough. He wants finalists too. Doesn't want everyone else having all the fun. Is that someone flying out? Nope. evoN off to a poor start here though. About 3/10 behind the main group. Scrappy with the best entry going through there. He's going to overtake Rielu and reel in Kappa. Very close between them though, but 1/10 of a second between all three drivers, and not too far back to evoN either, but Scrappy, that's going to call curtains to his charge. evoN also dropping a little bit behind, and now Rielu and Kappa looking to get finalists themselves. Can they pull off the identity without issue though? evoN will look to put them under pressure, but he's a bit too far behind at the moment. Let's see if they'll both manage this slalom, no problem. Rielu with a bit of a poor entry, but he executes it well. evoN's catching a little bit, but he's got a hell of a mountain to climb to get Kappa. 3/10 of a gap from first down to third place here, so they're all close. Kappa though, can he avoid mistakes in this round? Been a bit what's letting him down so far in this final last chance qualifier, but he does have the opportunity here. He does also have Rielu closing in very quickly though, especially through this later section. Rielu gets a tiny bit of wheels off the ground though. Scrappy light years behind, so he's not going to be able to do anything. evoN a bit too far behind as well, and it looks as if it's going to be between Kappa and Rielu, but who can risk it the most? Rielu went for speed, but he also got airtime. One of them you want and one of them you don't. Can any of them pull a fast one going into this final part here? They all go for full boost here, but it's going to be Kappa by the slimmest of margins. Less than 1/10 of a second. And Kappa is also going to be a finalist, despite Rielu also knocking in the fastest lap, but it was not enough to dethrone Kappa, and he is now on the verge of winning his first map and getting off to the best start. Can Rielu put the pressure on though? All going to be down to him, or this map is going to be over. So far, once again, a little bit of a field splitting out here. Kappa and Scrappy seem to have nailed this start pretty well. Kappa takes a good bit more risk going through there, but you can see it pays off as he now leaves Scrappy in his dust a little bit. Through the regular lap here, the Czech player definitely has a few tricks up his sleeve. evoN and Riolu though, definitely not too far behind. Oh, and Scrappy hits the tree for the second round in a row. Oh, and Riolu had a lot of adjustments there to make, but does survive nonetheless. Kappa, Riolu, evoN. evoN gets some more speed through that first hairpin, but what's going to matter is the second one especially. Both side by side going into the next lap. evoN risks it and he leaves Riolu behind a little bit here. Now it's going to be a battle between these two. Riolu needs to catch up here if he's going to try and extend this map to go one round longer. Kappa has been the boss of the regular part of this map though. Lost a little bit of time going through there though. evoN almost half the gap going through there. And Scrappy's made Riolu's made a mistake as well. So it's all going to be down to evoN and Kappa. And that was a beautiful section there by evoN. He's closing in. He's just within 1/10 of a second. Who's going to take the first map win here? It's either going to be one of these two drivers. evoN with more speed. Now going into the final section. The identity beckons for the second time on this map. Who's going to have it? All players going in. Both of these guys going in toe to toe. But who's got it? evoN maybe with a slight bit more speed. They're going in equal for each other. Who has it though? Kappa might have more speed, but evoN undercut and evoN secures the first map. Spectacular job there by evoN. Now he's one step away from securing a final 2 slot. What a performance there by the young Pole. And now Bicycle has been claimed by Team Secret. Now move on to map number 2 here, which was the choice of evoN. So the momentum definitely going his way at the moment. And now we move on to his own choice here, which is Frozen Fridges. With Team Secret the only team so far to secure a map. We'll see if any other teams will join them though. Interesting especially to see Scrappy and evoN going toe to toe, knowing they're going to have to fight against each other to even stay in Trackmania Grand League. How ludicrous is that when you're seeing the performance these both drivers are putting on at the moment? But we are live into round number 1 of Frozen Fridges here at the moment, and Scrappy definitely off to the best start here. Manoeuvring himself expertly through that little section. Doesn't get the best part there, as I was calling him out for doing well there though. But now everyone into the identity. This is a bit of an easier map, so we will see. Looks as if evoN actually falling a little bit behind through that section, but everyone going into lap number 2, close enough to make an impact here. evoN the furthest behind. Only 0.3 of a second here though. Riolu making a mistake. He's going to sacrifice third place, but the battle is only for first, as we remember. Scrappy really deep there. He's going to lose a lot of speed, but Kappa, where is he going? Playing a different map as Kappa. Scrappy still has the lead, but this has brought Riolu and evoN back into the fight here now. Scrappy realistically needs to make a mistake though. This is where we saw Kappa throwing it away a few rounds ago. A few stages ago even. Oh, Riolu, that wasn't the best, but it was even worse from Kappa. Actually looks as if he's recovered well as Riolu. Oh, so close to the outside and actually overtaking Scrappy there. So definitely line choice there from Riolu. proving me wrong, but is he going to be able to convert that into a round win? You can see how deep he's going into that section, and it is actually working out for him. Scrappy and Riolu to the line. Who's going to have it? All comes into the speed through this final section, and Riolu should take it, and he does by 0.02 of a second. Round number 1 for Nordavind here. That was very, very risky there by Riolu going through that late section. So close to the checkpoint trigger there. A messy start, but Scrappy nails it once again. Oh, but that's one man down, and it is Riolu, so this map will continue longer than this round at least, unless there is an absolutely catastrophic failure. Scrappy, though, looking very powerful on these maps, however, makes a little bit of a miscalculation through that section, and as such brings the other two that little bit closer. evoN avoids the airtime, and Scrappy loses a lot of speed going through there. Camp at the back of this pack, but evoN's now took the lead from Scrappy. But it's going to be very close on the exit of this identity, no doubt. evoN makes it so much slower on the uphill. However, it is the downhill that matters, of course, and Scrappy is currently in the lead, but by a very small margin here at the moment. And also Kappa had a good exit from that section, so he's bringing himself back into. I'm not sure where Scrappy's going, but evoN very deep going through there. He will survive and get it smooth though. Moves up to first place, and Scrappy falls. So now it's going to be between Kappa and evoN. Kappa have more speed coming through here though, but there's a jump. evoN will land a slight bit earlier to negate that. Goes much more inside, and it does pay off. But look how close they are going into the identity once again. Oh, Kappa took that perfectly and now overtakes evoN and leaves him for dust a little bit here. It's going to be the identity to decide it, but Kappa almost has this in the bag. Just needs to take this nice and easy. And the McLaren Shadow Driver will be on course to trigger his finalist status. As long as he gets through this, no problem. And he does, just a final stretch and a jump. Oh, that was... I don't even know if that was close or if it was just me panicking, but Kappa wins the round and secures his finalist. So now Riolu and Kappa are your first finalists and looking to secure their first map win for their respective teams. Still only map 2 out of 6 so far. Kappa and Riolu still on finalist here. Scrappy's been very fast on this map, but making mistakes. Everyone got off to a very nice start here though. A few adjustment slides going through there, but a lot of commitment there. Especially on exit there from Kappa. Really nails that section, but Riolu going for a ride. And evoN getting a little bit of airtime means this is going to be Kappa and Scrappy, but now only Scrappy. Riolu, having made his mistake, drops back a little bit. Did evoN even trigger the CP there? I don't know. He didn't. evoN didn't trigger the CP, so he's going to be out of this round too. See there, the frustration from evoN. That's what can happen on this identity. Scrappy has a strong lead here now. Let's check in with the chasing pack. Gonna take a hell of an effort for anyone to be able to catch up to Scrappy. We know he's fast on this map. But one thing we know about this format is it equals drama. Scrappy looking to give himself the best chance though. Riolu looks to be out of this fight, but Kappa's never out of it until the very last moment, as we've seen. Oh, Scrappy, a bit awkward on entry to there. Maybe opening up a slight door there. Oh, Kappa goes for the risk, but that's going to be it. Scrappy just needs to save this remaining section. Leave Kappa already DNF'd. I don't think he had the speed to make it up there. And Scrappy has secured his finalist. And now evoN needs to win this next round, or the map win goes to someone else. So Scrappy not getting his map pick of Bicycle, but he might steal evoN's map pick here of Frozen Fridges. Let's have a look. Potentially final round here. See that little technique there by Scrappy to get a lot of speed there on the downhill. Oh, evoN falling behind already. Looks as if this map's going to close out right here and now. Relo though with a strong lead going through this section. However, Scrappy and Kappa reeling him in. Through the later stages of this track that Relo does seem to have some trouble. Kappa not with the best speed on exit. Oh, Relo a bit awkward going through there. Did he trigger the checkpoint? He did. Very tight though, but he starts his downhill descent very quickly and very directly. Oh, so close there. So close to disaster for that extra 100th of a second that gains you, but that is what can matter. As we've seen in previous rounds here, Kappa 0.3 of a second behind, evoN over half a second behind. Relo still has a lead, but it is slender for the Nordovan player. It is extending a little bit here, but he does have Scrappy and Kappa chasing him down. They're going to need to commit going through this part if they want to catch up at all, and they are. Relo though with his different line here going to look to hold on. Hold the door, says Relo. So close, but he should have a good enough advantage here. As long as he doesn't make a mistake. Let's have a look. Oh, bit awkward there on exit. Doesn't look like it's going to be enough. And it looks as if Relo will secure the map number 2 and map number 1 for Team Nordovan. Great job there by Relo, and he takes it. It's a very convincing final round there from Relo, so good job there by the German. Let's see if he can keep his momentum though. I believe this is going into his map pick here. No, sorry, Kappa's map pick. We are going on to reversing. Despite it being Kappa's map pick, he's definitely had issues on this map, it must be said. But we've seen what can happen here, ladies and gentlemen. evoN has secured his spot in the final 8, sorry, the final 6 on this map, the final 4 on this map. Will he secure his spot on the final 2 on this map? It is reversing, ladies and gentlemen, by Thompson, and we are underway. Already butt clenching for how close these players are going through the early sections of this track. But they all survive intact, and that's what we like to see. We like to see close rounds. We also like to see evoN up in the lead. Oh, that's a mistake there from Kappa, I believe that was. A little bit of airtime, and Scrappy falling. Kappa on his map pick, wanting to assert his dominance, but all he gets is the wall. And Relo's fallen as well. What is going on here? Will all of these players even make the jump? Relo, no. Oh, he just does manage it. Kappa as well had to take the alternate route, but now evoN has a massive lead here, and looking good rather to secure his finalist straight away. Gets the downhill very cleanly. But he makes the mistake. He goes too wide and he crashes on the uphill. Big mistake there from evoN, and Scrappy now in prime position to capitalise on it. Scrappy does have a very strong lead here. I'm not entirely sure if they'll be able to catch up with the the end snipe here, but we will see. Scrappy just needs these final sections cleanly. evoN and Riolu 1 second behind. As long as he does it well, he should be fine. Will Lazarus get off to a great start again? Let's see. Going into the identity. Does he land cleanly? Oh, that's awkward for him. evoN's catching up. What's going on? Who's going to get the best ending? Will it be evoN once again? Oh, he went. Oh, actually, Scrappy didn't get it. He crashed into the side and Riolu sniped at the ending. What drama in the ending of this map. We love it. We love reversing. And Riolu on the verge of confirming his spot in the final two. What a turnaround that would be after being so far behind for the whole second lap there. But this is when the pressure really comes to its highest, and that is evoN down. He's going to be far behind. He's going to be out of this round already. Now Riolu. What can he do here? So Kappa, Scrappy, and Riolu. The only 3 left in this round. evoN already 10 seconds behind. Already out of this round pretty much. As a reminder, even if 2 of these players crash, most likely the other player will secure it by KO, first of all. But all players get this section well, Riolu especially. Kappa has yet to win a round on this map, if I'm correct. Oh, beautiful dismount there from all players. Riolu does have the advantage though. A lot of speed there for the McLaren Shadow driver. Big jump going through there and he gets the no slide but does adjust. Riolu had to as well. And now Scrappy is the one in the lead and Riolu's going to be out of this round too. So it will not be finished just yet. Scrappy and Kappa still have something to say. Scrappy's had issues in this ending before though. Kappa did pick this map. See how comfortable he is. If you fail the ending, it can play into your mind a little bit. There is only 3 10s here, that's definitely room. Oh, Scrappy gets it a bit messy there. Kappa's going to have a chance here. It's all going to come down into who has the best ending. Who's going to missile into the ending? I think Scrappy's got it. He does this time. And great job there by Scrappy to make up from last round's wrongs. And he is now finalist himself. Wants to get Lazarus on the board, does the Belgian. Has a perfect opportunity now to do that. evoN and Kappa yet to be on the board in this map. Scrappy and Riolu though. Riolu fighting for essentially the grand final spot here. Scrappy fighting for his first point to bring him equal with Team Secret and Nordvent here. Oh, lovely there by Kappa. Breezes through the crowd, so close to the poles on the inside. Risky there, but Mr. Krompolz makes it look easy. Everyone very close here though, that's what we like to see. We like close rounds here in Trackmania Grand League. Scrappy though loses time going through here. Kappa does have a strong lead. His ending's not been the strongest, but he does get it nice coming through here. He will get good speed, but as does Riolu and evoN. Who's going to get a nice turn around? evoN, I don't know, activated nitrous or something. Scrappy though is the furthest back of this pack. If he catches up though, he'll definitely have an opportunity, that's for sure. But the 2 players who are yet to get on the board are the 2 at the top at the moment. Little bit of a gap forming back here to Riolu, but in this ending, anything can happen. Kappa and evoN both getting it cleanly so far. evoN going super close to the inside there. Little bit of air time, but most important thing is keeping yourself close enough to have an impact at the end. As only the end it remains. A little bit of an adjustment there from TMGL means he'll lose some speed, and actually Rielu will catch up a little bit. Kappa needs a good landing here. He goes out, he goes too wide, and now it's just going to be between TMGL and Rielu here. Will Rielu secure a top 2 spot, or will TMGL deny him? Who's going to have it? It's going to be decided right here, and TMGL takes it once again. TMGL has mastered the ending section of this track and holds on, and now it's going to be Rielu and TMGL fighting for a top 2 spot. This is bread and butter for Team Secret's TMGL here, and let's see if he can secure it on the first time of asking. But Kappa on his own map pick, 2 times in a row now, not managed to win a single round. Would never have thought I would be saying that the pressure might be getting to Kappa, but here we are. Scrappy though off to a strong start. Doesn't want Rielu or TMGL taking his spots away for sure. A very close fight here. See TMGL a slight bit behind the main group, but we've seen a lot of the gaps being made in the identity and made up in the identity. So let's see what the players have in store. Kappa with a lovely entry there. We'll move into first. Rielu fails it. Kappa has an issue, and Kappa's down. It's going to be Scrappy, or it's going to be TMGL. Scrappy gets overtaken by TMGL going into the second lap. Will TMGL have reversing be his guardian angel for Trackmania Grand League's last chance qualifier? He has only 2/10ths, or 1/10th rather, back to Scrappy here. And it's going to be a fight between these two. A reminder, these two are going to have a 1v1 next week to decide who even stays in Trackmania Grand League. But now they're having a 1v1 to decide who's going to fight for a spot in the Trackmania Grand League playoffs. It's going to come down to the final identity of reversing. It's going to end here one way or another. But TMGL risks it and he fails it. Scrappy just needs to get the ending clean now. As long as he gets this clean, he will knock out the players by virtue of the gap, and looking good as Scrappy. And this map is going to be going home with Team Lazarus. Great job there by Scrappy to resist the charge there of TMGL. Oh, but the pressure got high there at the ending for sure. But we now move on to the next map here. This is going to be the choice of Rielu, and it's going to be Slalom. So Rielu now with the perfect opportunity here. Rielu consistently winning rounds here. I believe TMGL won a round here, and I think Massa. So relatively uniform in who performs here. But we will get live straight underway. Map 4 out of 6. Only Kappa has yet to win a map. Scrappy, TMGL and Rielu just need one map win. Oh, and Scrappy's round is going to be over already. Rielu though very consistent in this identity. This identity we see a lot of mistakes on, so I wouldn't be surprised even to see some KOs here. Oh, very tight going through this slalom here for Kappa and Rielu. Little bit of a gap over TMGL now. Very different approaches going through this section. Are they going to be able to pull it off expertly though? Let's see. Kappa, TMGL and Rielu performing it very well. TMGL stays at arm's length just behind. Rielu with a nice big jump there shoots into the lead. However, Kappa landing earlier allowed him to adjust his car a little bit. Kappa with the better exit here. Get some more speed. TMGL a bit too far behind at the moment. However, if these players mess up the identity, it brings him straight back into the picture. Rielu and Kappa Kappa definitely needs the momentum of an early round win. Both players perform this section very well, but Kappa falls already. And it's going to be Riolu with the advantage. evoN, the only person realistically who could challenge him here, and he has caught up quite a bit through this section, but Riolu realistically needs to make a mistake, and he's performed this very well. Who's going to have it in the downhill? evoN trying to snipe him. Who's going to have more speed? It's evoN in the ending, and somehow he makes it, and evoN rips it from Rielu's grasp by 600ths of a second. What a performance there, but Riolu was holding strong, but just lost his focus in there at the ending. Now evoN has his opportunity here. Has his opportunity alone for the final 2 spot. However, it's certainly not going to come easy, that's for sure. Scrappy loses his grip a little bit there. He will drop behind, but definitely not out of contention. Going through this tight little slalom here. A lot of slaloms in this map, probably why it's called slalom. For any of you four-headers out there, but Rielu's down. Riolu is down. He's all the way down. Scrappy a little bit out of contention, and evoN flew to the moon there. I'm not even sure where he thought he was going. But now Kappa and Scrappy will fight. I don't know what. Kappa and Scrappy both fail it. So now if evoN manages it here, he might actually catch up. What's going on? But Scrappy did actually manage to respawn efficiently. Kappa failed it. evoN failed it. So Scrappy gets the round win. And what a disaster there for all the players. But Scrappy manages to stabilise. Wow. Will we be all done in 3 rounds on slalom? Who knows? Scrappy could secure a final 2 spot here. So could evoN. Riolu needs to win another round. The referee says no. Kappa, barely remember any rounds he's won. I'm not sure what's happening. Often in contention, but not often in the lead. No mistakes so far. Players managing to stay so consistent through the regular stages of these tracks just goes to show their preparation is at a very high level. Riolu has some issues on entry to that section though, and kind of the top 2 spot with the bottom 2 almost. Kappa and evoN move up. Riolu and Scrappy move down, but we move into the first identity. Who manages it? Everyone actually manages it, no problem. What year is this? What is going on? But evoN is in the lead. Not the biggest of leads here. And straight away being caught up by Kappa, having that earlier landing. That'll be good for him in lap number 1, but you'll need the speed on lap number 2. Riolu dropping a little bit further behind this group, but there is a very, very small gap between these top 2 players. Scrappy clips the inside, and now that gap's going to get a little bit bigger. Now Kappa is the one tasked with keeping up. Riolu on the fight as well. evoN has a small lead here though, and Kappa makes the mistake. Only Riolu can deny evoN. Will evoN be able to hold on? But he's lost some speed coming through here. Have to release going through this section, so Riolu does overtake, but will he keep it? It's coming into the identity of slalom. Who's going to get it the best? Oh, it is going to be close. evoN's going to manage it as Riolu flies off. And evoN is in the final 2 of Trimania Grand League's last chance qualifier. And Team Secret walk forward. What a performance there by evoN. Being the first out of all 4 players to manage to get through. After having such a difficult time through the regular season. Been a spectacular performance so far. And through to the very last stage as evoN. And now, we have Lazarus left. We have Nordovan left, both on one map already. Arctic split. Will Kappa manage to take it and bring it to a final map? Or will 5 be all we go? Here we go though. Riolu with a very strong lead here so far. But Arctic split, we've seen a lot of issues in the identity, especially on this track. Kappa with his little way of which he goes the other side of the pole for some reason. Not really sure why. It's terrifying. Scrappy just about half a second behind. However, catching up on Kappa a little bit here. 3/10 between all players. Riolu still first though, but you can see Kappa and Scrappy closing the gap a little bit down. This identity might look easy, but the amount of time you can gain on it is massive depending on how you dismount off of each landing. Get it nice and inside and you will gain a lot of speed. Scrappy showing that off very nicely. But Riolu, beautiful ice turn there. They're both leaving Kappa in the dust. He's going to be out of this round. Both the players go through the engine killer at about the same spot here. A little bit of a switch back there. Scrappy had to release. Scrappy though, second place, but a very close second place. Does go for the side route that Kappa did as well. Didn't pay off for him as you see though. If anything, lost time to Riolu. Both players opt to release going through there. Some try and drift. Different approaches here. Riolu will get better exit speed, but we're coming into the final identity of this round. You can see Scrappy risking it. You can see how much a risk really pays off on this track. Oh, when Riolu makes the mistakes, and it looks as if Scrappy's going to take it home here as long as he can... Oh, he survived that, but by the skin of his teeth, as we say. And Scrappy will set himself up to join evoN in the final two. So will Scrappy send Riolu home? Will he send Kappa out of the rest of Trackmania Grand League? Scrappy already made a mistake though and finds himself quite far behind. 0.7 is not an easy gap to climb back. 0.8 even at that. In no circumstances, I can assure you. Riolu and Kappa though. Kappa pretty much has to win this round. Riolu does win, it's not the end of the world, but it's very close to it, but that is not the way to win the round. Scrappy is the only one left who can challenge Riolu here. Doesn't really matter how far you are ahead though. If you don't survive the identity, you're pretty much doomed anyway. Riolu survives part 1, as does Scrappy. And here we go, part 2. Scrappy's drawing him in though. Part 3. And Riolu performs that very well. Scrappy makes a mistake. This is going to be a KO win for Riolu as long as he gets this drift fine. The ice slide. And Riolu should have it here. Yes, he will. Riolu wins your next round and he's going to be finalist as well. And now, Kappa has to win 2 rounds in a row or else his journey towards the playoffs ends. His journey in this season of Trackmania Grand League ends. And it's all over for Kappa. Makes a massive mistake at the start. Now it's going to be down to Scrappy or Riolu once again on this track. They've been going blow for blow here. Who's going to get knocked out? Will it be Scrappy and evoN essentially playing a best of 2? One for the playoff and one for TMGL in general. Will it be Riolu? Oh, Scrappy survives that risky line here. But Kappa, no chance whatsoever here. Unless both players make a horrendously massive mistake. But even at that, they need to make it at the same time to avoid a win by KO. Scrappy's risking it. Riolu makes the mistake, and it might just be it for Scrappy. Riolu's going to keep him just under the 1.5 second threshold. But he's going to need a miracle here. Actually, he's fallen a little bit under it. Scrappy just needs to get through this final checkpoint. Riolu needs to risk it the full way. Oh, he just keeps it by 1/100 of a second. Could you imagine if Scrappy fails it at the ending now with Riolu just saving it by 1/100 of a second? Scrappy though needs to keep his cool. Riolu is well capable of catching up, especially in the identity. He can save the majority of the track here. You can see he's going for the easy route this time. But Riolu needs to match his pace here, otherwise he's still going to lose by KO. Scrappy though looking good, little release there. Riolu is getting that little bit closer. A little bit awkward there for Scrappy, but will he survive? Makes it through the first part, extremely tight. Part number 2, you can see how much he's releasing. He's losing time. Can he make it? He messes that up again. Riolu's not going to get there in time, and Scrappy is going to be your second member of the final 2. Riolu is finished with this season of Trackmania Grand League. He moves to the Combine now, and Kappa is also out as well. Now we have only evoN and Scrappy remaining. 2 players finished 14th and 15th in the regular season, yet now are on the very brink of qualifying for the playoffs. It is a crazy world we live in. One of them will move into the grand final tomorrow. But we will have that coming up shortly. We will have a short break in the meantime. And we will be back to you with evoN versus Scrappy for the last chance qualifier grand final. And here we have it. The grand final of the last chance qualifier. It will be displayed between Lazarus' Scrappy and Team Secret.evoN. The final two remaining. We started with 8. Many have fallen, and now we are left with just these two. Format does change very slightly. So, it is going to be a best of 5 in maps now. So you now need to win 3 maps in total. On the map, you need to win 4 rounds on that map. So the first to get to 4, basically, will be through to the Trackmania Grand League playoffs, which will be played tomorrow. However, we will have that starting off in just a few moments. So we may see a very quick match, we may see a very short match. It all depends on how these players perform. However, at the moment, this may very well be round 1. Scrappy in the lead here on reversing. This was evoN's map pick. Scrappy has been a very fast player on this, but has also made a lot of mistakes. Both players definitely prone to mistakes, however both players with electric pace, so we'll see what they have in store for us. You're on round number 1. evoN with a little adjustment there though. We'll see Scrappy moving up a little bit into the lead. Who's going to get the landing best? evoN makes the mistake. Not entirely sure if we'll see the loss by KO in this one. However, let's see Scrappy going through this section. Dismounts nicely. And Scrappy will move through lap number 1 with about 1.4 seconds of an advantage. Looking good to secure round number 1. Need 4 rounds in a map to win it, however. So it will not just be the 1 round win and then straight away into finalist. Yep, there you go. You do have the KO. evoN on the very verge. 1.48 seconds. Gonna need to risk it here. Needs to stay within that magical 1.5 seconds. That's also important though, as it gives him a chance to actually always able to win the round as long as you're within 1.5 seconds. See if Scrappy makes it through this, no problem. He does. Lands cleanly, and that is beautiful there for Lazarus' Scrappy. evoN though messed that section up, and I think that's going to be curtains for this round. It will be. Scrappy makes it through, no problem. Takes it nice and safe and turns round, and Scrappy will draw first blood. Oh, sorry, points limit 3, pardon me. Oh wait, never mind, yeah, that's best of 4 anyway. So, Scrappy takes point number 1. That's a little bit of a preview for how we're going to see the head-to-head to them go against, they're going up against each other next week. To decide even who stays in Trackmania Grand League, so a little bit of a sneak peek here. For better or for worse, of course, depending on who you're a fan of. Scrappy though for good lead here. Knows evoN's performed well at the ending on this map, so he needs to be solid both in the regular lap and also under lock and key in the identity. Oh, he messes up a little bit going through there. Will draw evoN back into the fight. evoN avoids mistake this time though. Gets a little bit of a better entry to the identity. Both players looking good. Dismount, and evoN manages to get that cleanly this time. Scrappy, the one falling a little bit further behind here. Only by 0.2 of a second here now. Now has the chance to snipe evoN. But Scrappy very good at the regular lap, so expect him to be on the attack, and he is. Overtakes now going through this section. Does kill some speed, a lot of lateral movement through there, but both players still exceptionally close to each other. And now going the full distance in this round. Into the identity for the second time of this round, and it looks as if both players have got equal speed, but Scrappy with a slight lead here. Both players land cleanly. It's all going to come down into who risks the ending best. Scrappy with a slight lead coming through here, but evoN's been very good at the ending. evoN snipes him at the ending. He is the king of the ending of reversing. Massacres Scrappy's efforts there at the very end. And once again steals it. 1-1 we are. Round number 3. It must be very frustrating for Scrappy, as he's had problems at the ending, not only now, but you saw in the previous, I believe, Final 4, where he actually missed the finish even. That's got to play havoc with your confidence. Scrappy though, looking good so far. He needs to get himself enough of a gap where he can feel comfortable against the late charge of evoN at the end, but that's very difficult. Both players are extremely capable. evoN there for a little adjustment, but Scrappy as well, so they both should be about equal going into this identity for round number 3. Both players land relatively fine. Both initiate this identity very well. What about airtime there for evoN? Only lose a few hundredths of a second, but Scrappy has some issues on the downhill. Clearly that section of the identity is what's troubling Scrappy. He seems very well versed on the rest of the map. evoN definitely no slouch, it must be said. However, who's going to be the first to 2 points here? It's not 2 points that matters, but that is a step in definitely the right direction. So close to the inside, I'm terrified. So close to the outside as well. Someone hold me. Oh, that risk coming through there from both players, but it is evoN who now goes into this section with a small infinitesimal advantage, but you can see Scrappy's going for it. He does fail on his entry to the identity though. He's going to lose so much speed. evoN could afford to save it, but he's not going to know. Oh, will he make it? Oh, he gets it a little bit less safe going through there, but he will secure his second point, and his second point in a row at that. Needs 2 more round wins here to secure map number 1. Map number 1 of 3 needed. evoN almost flawless in the identity here, and you got to think, not only is that very much a confidence boost for evoN, but also very concerning for Scrappy. It's very hard to know that even if you are a good distance ahead, your opponent can catch up with you at the very end, almost no matter what. Puts a lot of pressure on you through the regular stage of the lap, and you can see Scrappy's responding. He is risking. But as we said, I mean, risking against a player of evoN's level isn't going to net you as much time against a player of a lower level, certainly. Oh, that was shaky by evoN. He's going to lose some time going down here. Scrappy though, will he be able to maintain this lead coming down here? About 0.4 of a second they are split into lap number 2 here. Oh, evoN makes the big mistake. That's going to be round number 2 for Scrappy there. Win by KO. Just clip the inside there, and Scrappy gets his second round on the board, and we are possibly going to go to maximum rounds on reversing. Good job there by Scrappy. Very consistent through the regular phase of the track. So let's check in with Scrappy here. See the amount of speed he gains, especially through this section. A little bit more drifts there. However, does maintain a lot of momentum. TMGL close behind. 0.2 of a second is the gap. But straighten your car up there as much as possible. TMGL though drops quite a bit behind now. 0.6 of a second. A small mistake by the Team Secret driver. Not sure entirely what happened there, but that was a wheel up that shouldn't have been up. TMGL knows he's under pressure here, but he also knows that he's been able to pull off the identity at least a bit more consistently than Scrappy, and Scrappy gets a bad entry there. That's not going to give him the lead, but that's going to give him a lot closer of a gap here. It's so close to the inside. I'm not sure what's happening here. Oh, he went. I'm pretty sure that was some sort of risk line there, but I was no idea. However, Scrappy will bring himself up to finalist by KO. I think he had the same issue that Spam had there, where he was a bit too close to the outside, so he wasn't able to turn round as quickly as he wanted to. You can go for a super risky line there by using your back wheels on that landing to turn yourself around, but that's a desperation move. Not one you should be doing in a normal round, and it did not pay off this time. Scrappy though on map point. Scrappy gets so much more speed on that landing. Really is something to behold. Not made any big mistakes, apart from at the ending, has Scrappy. But very close here. Coming through the midway point of lap number 1, entering into reversing's identity. TMGL switches up to the lead. Will he keep it? Scrappy gets that a bit messy. You can see he slides a little bit more on landing, so he loses a little bit more speed. Oh, TMGL once again very close to messing that transition up at the ending. However, Scrappy had even more trouble on the downhill, so is now on the back foot. However, 4/10 is definitely something Scrappy can whittle down going through this track. He's been very fast on the regular lap. 0.3 of a second between them. Scrappy's not going to be close enough to overtake, but if he nails the ending, as much as he's not been accustomed to do so recently, or if TMGL makes a mistake, then it's Scrappy ready to pounce. Can he survive? Can both players survive? Oh, TMGL looks shaky there. Right, so both players going to be extremely close coming through here. TMGL gets more speed on the downhill. And they're both going to go for it risky. TMGL looks like he's got it. He nearly missed it at the ending. But TMGL brings himself up to map point as well. And we go all the way in reversing. To a final round now we go. Will it be 0.1 to Secret or 0.1 to Lazarus? We will find out now as the start of the two-lapper. TMGL versus Scrappy for map point here. As a best of 5, so you need a total of 3 map points. First one's going to be a great start, of course. Scrappy not afraid to risk no matter what. TMGL drawing a lot closer than he was in the last few rounds through the early section of this track. Very close to the two players. Scrappy just misses the CP wall there, avoiding disaster with millimeters. But now we move into the identity of reversing. Oh, Scrappy makes it good, but TMGL could not have risked that more. Oh, TMGL, he actually messes it up. The same thing happened again, and now Scrappy's going to win map number 1. Winning by knockout as Lazarus' Scrappy just takes a full save going through there, and Scrappy will be your winner of reversing. And now we move on to Scrappy's map pick, and the first of his map picks is Arctic Split. The lightning does indeed strike twice, unfortunately for evoN. Moving into the next map here. Didn't really see evoN playing a lot of this map, if at all. So, we'll see what both players have in store here. Scrappy did manage to clutch out against Riolu to get to this point. Let's see how it goes though. Round number 1. No warm-ups at this stage of the tournament. Oh, evoN gets a significantly better slide, and he is off here. Ice, a technique that players really haven't properly 100% figured out yet. Certainly not in the ways of the likes of Dirt or some of the other techniques of Trackmania. However, evoN gets himself off to a great start. Both players going for a lot of speed through that section. Scrappy opts not to go for the outside line there. Now, evoN definitely had trouble in this during the regular season in terms of avoiding the crashes in the identity. However, that is a full 6 lapper, so let's see if he's going to have any more luck going into it just for 2 laps here. Both players get through the first jump fine. Oh, evoN though, he's down, and that's going to be round number 1 to Scrappy as evoN needs to respawn there. And Scrappy has shown in the previous section that he is more than capable of safing this, and Scrappy wins by KO for first blood on Arctic Split. Here we go though, round number 2. See if Scrappy manages to keep up this time on the initial ice slide. evoN, oh, with a bit of an awkward ending there, but because the wheels are all covered in ice, that means that even though he was sideways, he still manages to draw equal. Both players neck and neck, as close as you could get going through that section. evoN executed that turn very nicely, so moves up to first place. Only by the slenderest of margins now. They switch. evoN will have more speed though. This identity could be a killer for either one of these players, but let's see who it's going to treat and who it's going to trick. They're going to move into it for the second time. Both players side by side once again, very evenly matched on the regular lap, and this time it's Scrappy who falls, but only slightly. evoN manages that one this time, however, by the slimmest of margins, it must be said. Riding on the absolute seat of my pants, just watching these drivers do this. However, recovers very well, and the end of that does Scrappy. And gets through the start of the next lap well, however, still in second place. evoN has the lead. However, as we'd said previously, both players very evenly matched through the start of this track, through the regular stage of this track. evoN though, 1/10 of an advantage, that's nothing in Trackmania Grand League terms. Oh, Scrappy tried to go for a little side to side there, a little wiggle to get his wheels down on the floor quicker. Almost cost him the round there, but he adjusted, so he will keep himself in with a chance. 4/10 of a second is enough if evoN fails this here. First one, as good as you could like. Second, oh, I can't handle this much longer. Scrappy did fail though, so that means they will go blow for blow. 1-1. Don't think my heart can handle so many rounds of Arctic Split. Oh. Round number 3, both players drawn equal. 1 to Lazarus, 1 to Secret. Oh, both players get the slide very nicely. evoN, though, seems to have Scrappy's number. Off to once again a storming start here. Did lose some speed last time through the later stages and allowed Scrappy to catch up, but perhaps settled into his groove. As we said, hadn't played a lot of Arctic Split so far in this last chance qualifier. But Scrappy is not done. He is done now. That's going to be a win for KO for evoN, as long as he survives this later stages. So evoN just needs to get through this next checkpoint without issue. You will see the pop up from him knocking out Scrappy, but that is a win by KO. And a caster's curse by me, I suppose. Round number 2 for evoN. Needs 2 more, Scrappy needs 3. That was the risky line that Scrappy does sometimes go for. Did not pay off, but what is that from evoN? So close to the inside, but look at that, 0.6 of a second already just from one turn at the start. Beautiful job there from evoN. Scrappy now on the back foot. Not often you say that. But that is what this can do to you. It can put you under that kind of pressure to go for those risky lines. Because if you're not counting on your opponent failing in the identity, you need to make it up in a regular lap. And he tries it again. He does succeed this time. Will he actually catch up, though, is the question. It is not one which will gain you a lot. 0.05 of a second gain for Scrappy there. So the risk versus reward, I will leave down to bigger brains than me, but now we move into the identity. This is a real place where gaps get won and lost. evoN looking a little bit more comfortable this time. Scrappy is drawing a little bit closer though, and he gets that inside. So now going into lap number 2. Both players are relatively close here. Scrappy does get it good, but both players performing relatively well in lap number 1. Scrappy though on the back foot for the whole of this round so far. Needs to keep up this pace. He needs to keep evoN under pressure. That's how mistakes are made. evoN gets a slowdown from somewhere and he's going to fall a little bit further behind. But going into this part, you need to do a quick turnaround anyway. So you're going to catch up, or you're going to recover your speed loss at the very least. But we have had a switch. Not entirely sure where that came from, but it matters not. Both players extremely close to the outside there and going for as little grass as possible. Different approaches going through here, but we will be going into the identity with about 3 to 4 tenths of a gap between the players. evoN needs to risk it, but he messes up the first one. Needs to hope that Scrappy makes a mistake. Scrappy's been good through this identity, just needs a final one to go his way, and it does. Scrappy will secure round number 2, and we might be going all the way on Arctic Split as well. These guys do not want us to go to bed early. Some late night Trackmania on our hands here today, but you could not ask for a better matchup. Both players this time, Scrappy getting the advantage. However, not as far ahead as evoN was managing to pull. But Scrappy definitely with the upper hand here. Has been looking very strong through the regular part of this track. Oh, a lot of drifts coming through there for evoN. Maybe feeling a little bit uncomfortable through that section. Half a second behind now. Scrappy's going to be under less pressure to risk. evoN had to make some adjustments there and he makes the mistake. This is going to be a loss by KO. The second one for evoN on this track. Going to bring Scrappy up to map point. Just needs to survive these remaining checkpoints, which he should be able to do. Just needs to survive the first part of the identity. And he does, so that's going to be a win for Scrappy. Scrappy looking for a 2-0 here. That's going to be a crushing blow for evoN. He needs one more round to draw himself up to not only 2 map points, but on the very verge of qualifying for the Trackmania Grand League playoffs. This time it's evoN with the better start. That seems to be his main weapon here. Having some struggles in the latest rounds through the regular lap. We'll see if both players survive through this section though. Was where evoN slowed down a lot last time. Scrappy now, the one dropping back a little bit. Oh, evoN makes the mistake though. Goes a little bit too high there, but because he had the reactor boost, he will recover his speed quickly. So now the pressure is back on evoN. Essentially all or nothing in pretty much all of these rounds, but even more so now. When Scrappy is on finalist, he needs to deny him. Going through this identity though. That's good speed, but he needs the inside line on exit, but that does mean risking it that little bit more. You can see how tight Scrappy goes to the right side. Both players make it through cleanly. 4/10 of a gap between them. And now we move on to lap number 2. Not many times we've seen that in this track, it must be said. I think Scrappy got the better of it through there. Actually, no. So, still close enough to have an impact as evoN. But he's going to need to pull out all the stops here. Scrappy has a strong lead here now, and it is extending. Just about 6/10 of a second there. Being careful through there, not going too high like evoN did. Oh, but evoN's made another mistake. 1 second behind now. Scrappy may play with his heads up display on, so he may be able to see the gap, but otherwise all he's going to see is the fact that he's first place. From the number in the back of his car, but is Scrappy going to secure map number 2 for Lazarus here? Makes it through the first part, no problem. Oh, but he saved it through the second part. Will allow evoN to catch up, but not enough, and Scrappy gets map number 2 for Lazarus, and that's a fantastic job on Arctic Split there by Scrappy. Put the pressure on evoN, meaning that evoN had to risk a lot going through these sections, putting him on the back foot, and that's how you win rounds and how you win matches. We, however, move back to evoN's map pick here. Map number 3. Which will be Slalom. Scrappy, I believe, yet to win a round on this map. Either was already qualified by the time this map was played, or performed not to the same level as those who were winning rounds. evoN, however, has had issues in this identity before. That's fine when you've got a lot of buffer zones from some other people, you know, getting finalist for the first time or so, but when you're in a one-on-one, you need consistency. So far, it seems to be that evoN is able to perform the majority of the identities better, but Scrappy tends to perform the regular lap that little bit better. However, going through the next slalom here, you see it's going to be extremely tight going into the identity between these two. Less than 1/10 of a second. Both very evenly matched. Scrappy pulls a little bit of a lead through the grass turn. A lot of loose surfaces on this track. Oh, evoN risks it, but Scrappy makes the mistake. That could be a win by KO. Scrappy is catching up here. evoN just needs to get through the next checkpoint. And he will. evoN wins round number 1. That is the danger of this identity. If you mess up, you will lose a lot of time. First blood this time for evoN. But here we go. Round number 2. Will it turn into a streak? Every single map so far we've had one player getting 1 point and then the other answering straight back with another. No streaks being built up as of yet. Scrappy goes for the risky line, avoiding airtime. Is the identity that matters here though. Much like reversing. Scrappy with a strong lead, but evoN gets a very nice entry to that section. Oh, gets a little bit of grip loss through that part though, so will drop a little bit further back. But can gain a lot of time through this section. Scrappy makes it cleanly. Good job there by Scrappy, but evoN answers. So now putting the pressure on. Oh, but he actually clipped the flag on the outside there. I didn't even know you could do that. Will this be won by KO? No, it might be. He needs to get close here through these next checkpoints. It's going to be a win by KO for Scrappy. evoN clipped the flag on the outside there, was too close to the right part of the track. He tried to straighten his car up too early. So that meant he couldn't adjust it anymore to avoid the outside. But there we go. History repeats itself. We have one first blood and then a blowback to answer for it. A counter by Scrappy. First of the slaloms. I believe there's 4 slaloms on this track. Both players get that cleanly without any airtime. And as we move on to slalom number 2. Scrappy does seem to regularly get a lead early on. evoN releases a little bit there just to make sure he gets through it safe. Scrappy's so close to either side of the wall there, but survives. We're into the identity with a much slimmer lead than last time, but let's see if he'll manage to match up. Oh, evoN messes it up, and he's going to lose by KO once again as Scrappy makes it clean. And now the pressure is on. 2-1 for Scrappy. 2 rounds in a row. This was a map which, when evoN did perform the identity well, he tended to win the round. However, that was when he performed the identity well. Scrappy and Lazarus looking to lock a slot in the Trackmania Grand League playoffs. Was one of the players you would think would be a favourite for the playoffs, having been a runner-up to a previous Trackmania Grand League season. However, his league phase has been not up to par this season, so has to get through to the playoffs through the last chance. Pardon me. Has been a long day. evoN though makes a little bit of a mistake. You can see that's a bit of a hairy section for him. About 0.3 of a second behind though. Will Slalom claim another victim here? Oh, it's awkward there for evoN. He should be able to recover, but he's going to be a long distance behind. Will avoid the loss by KO, but he hits the flag, but he saves it somehow. I have no idea how that worked. But he avoids the loss by KO so far, but Scrappy looks like he's feeling comfortable. Let's go to Scrappy. No idea how he saved that. But Scrappy though, if he does have anyone communicating for him, or if he does have any sort of HUD on or anything like that, he will know he has a strong lead. He can afford to save. However, this identity is very difficult to save. You can go to safe on it and then still have your wheels lose grip and shoot straight off the edge. evoN close enough to be able to capitalise on a mistake, but the question is, will Scrappy make one? Oh, nice there by Scrappy. Nailed the identity and will be able to take this round and brings himself up to not only map point, he brings himself up to playoff point here. Will Scrappy take it home right here and now? Is evoN going to take home any more points? What has Scrappy got to show for us? What's evoN got left in the tank? This could potentially be the final round of the grand final. Who's going to cope with the pressure best, because it is at its highest now? We will see a replay of these players going up against each other, and I can't wait to see that no matter how this ends up. Both players being very evenly matched going through this. You can see the little switching lines there, allowing one player to catch up, one player dropping behind. Macro movements almost. Oh, and evoN makes the mistake, and he won't be able to recover easily, but he does. He needs to keep it clean through this section and hope Scrappy makes a mistake. Scrappy gets that cleanly. He's going to be able to recover and get his downhill well. evoN also answers and is able to pull it off, but he is nearly 1.5 seconds behind. He needs to have a monster of a lap here, or else his journey to the playoffs ends at the final step. Scrappy, though, looked solid so far on this map. No mistakes so far. Was looking a little bit shaky on this map in previous stages, but looking good to secure the grand final slot, to return to the playoffs that he missed last time. Scrappy, though, a little bit of an issue there. Still has a good lead, though, over a second. As long as he pulls off this identity cleanly, he will be walking away with a Trackmania Grand League playoff spot. And he does. It's just the downhill and the jump remaining, and Scrappy is your participant of Trackmania Grand League playoffs of the winter 2021 season. Congratulations to Scrappy and Lazarus. Fantastic performance there by them, and very well deserved from a stellar final performance there by Scrappy. 3-0, and I think that's not correct. So I see a few people's sads there, but make sure also credit where credit is due to Scrappy. As much as you may have hoped for evoN to be the winner of Trackmania Grand League's last chance qualifier, however, we will back out of that to save further embarrassment. However, ladies and gentlemen, that has been your Trackmania Grand League last chance qualifier. We'll see if after all that evoN is going to fall straight asleep, or if he will join us for some final thoughts before the Combine and after the last chance qualifier. I'll be hopefully one moment, and then we'll have him coming through our ears. Just bear with us while we get everything set up, give him a little chance to cool down. Great performance by both players to make it that far, though. And certainly a lot of people early on weren't betting on Scrappy getting that far from his regular season performance, and evoN, after having some tough times going through the regular season, definitely not one which a lot of people gave a lot of hopes towards. However, as we said, of course, the players will be going up against each other. Specifically, Scrappy and evoN will also be on your screens next week, next Sunday, I believe, at 9 PM. Will be announced later. Will also be up in social media, I'm sure, from both Team Secret and also from Team Secret and from myself. We'll keep you guys up to date as to when his final match will be on for this season. But we'll get some words with evoN, ladies and gentlemen. evoN, coming into Trackmania Grand League's last chance qualifiers. I mean, a lot of people looked at you qualifying from 15th position and thought maybe a round 1 or a round 2, but making it all the way to the final stage, and you've got to be happy with that despite losing out to Scrappy at the end.
Definitely, I'm very happy overall with how I played. I didn't feel so good with practice. Like, I didn't feel comfortable on the maps, but yeah, it worked out, and I'm very, very happy. Well, shit happens in 1v1s, but yeah, when you play against such a sick player like Scrappy, you know, it's very tough.
Yeah, absolutely. And you really showed some real strong performances on some of the maps. I mean, we saw it. I mean, the chat was going wild. I was going wild. My voice left the chat when you were performing some amazing snipes there on reversing, and also some really strong performances on the likes of Slalom. Were these maps you were feeling more comfortable going into the event?
I mean, I did like the map pack itself, but on some maps like Slalom, I was feeling very shaky, especially the identity, because I tried to learn a different strategy and it just didn't work that consistently. And then I was
Hmm.
like, yeah, I'm not gonna just go and play the other alt strat because I don't really know. Um, uh, I don't know. On general, I felt really comfortable on the maps though. Just a
Hmm.
couple of maps that were very bad for me.
I see. And I mean, give us your thoughts on the last chance qualifier as a whole. I mean, not a lot of people would have been predicting a Lazarus, Scrappy, and a Team Secret.evoN in the grand final. I mean, we had some very strong names there. I mean, it's got to feel good to get a one up on some of those people after having issues in the regular season.
Definitely, that definitely motivates me a lot, and I don't know. I feel like I'm very, very good in two lappers, and I think I showed that. I'm happy that finally I performed that well, and still kind of can't believe it because I
Mhm.
wasn't feeling that good beforehand. So yeah, I'm just very happy.
Yeah, for sure. And final thing from me, last time we spoke to you was at the end of step 6 there, and knowing that you were going to come up against Scrappy, I mean, you sound almost consigned to defeat. You were very pessimistic about your chances. I mean, albeit a 3-0 at the end there, I mean, both of you went blow for blow in extremely close rounds, and realistically, it could have really went either way, especially at the start. So does that give you a lot more confidence going into your combined battle with Scrappy?
I think so. I'll make sure to be more comfortable in a couple of the maps, so I don't just fail identities that easily.
Hmm.
But I'm definitely feeling more comfortable after this. I actually could handle the pressure quite well, so I'm just happy in general.
Yeah, I mean, we were certainly happy with your performances, and a lot of the people in the Twitch chat, of course, sending their best wishes and sending their love for what was a really incredible performance to get this far. And I can assure you that everyone who of your fans has definitely been proud to call themselves a fan of evoN after such a magnificent performance. But we will, of course, be back with you once again next week in the Combine. I believe you will be up as the final match. I'll be here along with you. I'm sure every one of your fans in the Twitch chat will be along to support you once again. But it has been a fantastic performance. And any final things to say to the people who have been watching throughout this 3.5 hours almost to support you as best they can?
Well, thanks for cheering, boys. I don't know what to say. Like usual, it just motivates me a lot, and it's always a pleasure to rewatch the VODs or whatever and just see the cheering from you guys. So thanks a lot again.
I definitely recommend you watch the VODs of the reversing snipes, although I think that's already up on Team Secret's Twitter. But that's been it from me and evoN this week, ladies and gentlemen. As we said, we will be back with you next week. It will be a different time. I believe it's 9 p.m. the combine match head-to-head is. However, as we said, it will be up on Team Secret's and my own Twitter nearer the time to give you guys an update. So feel free to follow either of the two of us. However, that has been it from us at Team Secret. We will see you next week, and we will hopefully be still seeing evoN come out on top with a brilliant performance as it was today. But good night, everyone. See you all next time.
See you.